We're muted. That's going. That actually worked really well. I did it right. We're gonna be live in like 15 seconds. Guys, gals, and slippery pals. Not bad. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. I think. Uh-oh. One moment. We have a small issue. This is, I don't know if this is gonna show anything. This is gonna be weird for a moment here. Let's see. I don't like how this works. Oh no. Uh-oh. Well, you guys can hear me, but we'll be live in just a moment here as the input for this. There we are. Okay, good. Perfect. Welcome to the semifinals of the Cobblemon World Cup. We are here for the first match of 2 matches. There are only 4 teams remaining in this tournament. Novoro and I are here once again, and Slippy's here as well, to bring to you the content, the action of this Cobblemon World Cup 2025. As we begin to wind down the end of this tournament, we've only got 4 matches left, and today is a best of 5 series between Tropimon and AureusMC. Novo, how are you feeling about today's matchup?
This is probably the semifinals that I'm most anticipated for. These are the only 2 teams that remain in the tournament that are yet to suffer a loss to any opposing team. So these are currently invincible teams right now, facing off against each other. Only one is going to make it to the finals. Only one of these teams today is going to be able to walk away with their undefeated record still intact. So just to get things started, it is time for the coin flip. AureusMC, Tropimon, strong in both formats. I'm excited.
Heck yeah. Well, Goldango is going to let us know whether we're going to be starting with VGC or singles in just a moment. As this referee, Novo, will be beginning the match. Goldango has thrown the coin to kick off the semifinals. He's examining it, and he has decided we are going to tails the format of
Doubles!
Doubles! It was in chat as well. All right. We will be starting with VGC, and today we will be oh, look at that. We got some nice reflections from the glass up above. This, you know, I didn't even mention it yet, but we are in a new arena today. New to the tournament, that is. This is the Champions Arena of the Cobblemon World Cup 2025 map, which again, you will have access to downloading in the future once this tournament has concluded. And we will be facing off in doubles. We'll get poke pastes in the chat for you all, and Tropimon and AureusMC will be facing off very shortly. And I've enabled just a slight amount of blur because frames were a little bit of an issue earlier today. Now, in this matchup, are there any battlers that you're most excited to see here, Novo or Slippy? I'm not remembering. Oh, I see Idilius already just sort of standing at the edge of that these battler arenas. This reminds me of the most epic tournament setup I've ever seen, you know, like where you got the players on one side, we've got the depth between where they're going to be standing and where their Pokemon will be. It's going to be epic. But is there anyone you're excited to see here, Novo or Slippy?
I mean, from here on out, it's all just big name players that remain in the tournament. On Tropimon's side, I'm of course excited to see Master Sans and Idilius representing their teams, both undefeated in both singles and doubles so far. And then on the AureusMC side, I think the one that I've just been waiting to see in the remainder of the matches is White Spaniard with his extremely dominant Dragonite Annihilate team.
True.
probably my favorite singles battler to be watching so far in the tournament. I'm excited that we get to see all of them on the exact same day.
Yeah, this is going to be intense. And we also have some of the most, well, I don't know about AureusMC as much, but Tropimon, I feel like, has been one of the most vocal teams out of any of them in terms of sort of rooting each other on. Hisako has been extremely, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, wait, no, Hisako, that might not be the right manager. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
That is one of the Tropimon representatives.
Oh, it is? Okay. Oh, I see him now. I see him now. Yes. Yes, they are, I've seen them in the chats over and over again, and I am excited to see their commentary as we go through. And White Spaniard just, well, he was looking calm for a moment there, but then I saw a big spin. So hopefully just excited. I'm excited to see his Annihilate make a play there. And we'll be getting these team sheets very shortly. And once we do, we'll be getting into the analysis of what we think the spread looks like between these teams. Oh, Novo, do you think we're going to see any new tech today? Do you think we'll see like any big swaps? You know, we've seen a bunch of rain teams. We've never seen a sun team. We've seen a bit of sand, a bit of snow. Anything you're hoping to see today?
I've actually already received the team sheets. I've sent them your way so you can share them with the chat.
Beautiful.
Shoot, I'm not sure what to expect from both teams. I'm sure that they're going to be bringing teams that they've been comfortable with. I feel like when you're this deep in the tournament, sometimes it is a bit too risky to start changing up what teams you might bring. Of course, you know, you'd want to do that just so that you can prepare, or so that you're not easily scouted, but... Oh, wait, let's see.
And I have some people asking in chat whether we could do a poll for who you're supporting here today. So let's do it. This is Tropimon. Who rooting for? We got Tropimon and AureusMC. There is a poll in chat now for you all. Now, while that goes, let's take a look at these team sheets.
This is the first match that we are going to be having in the Champion Arena, so I'm very excited to finally debut this beautiful stadium.
Yeah, this is incredible. I did mention at the beginning, we'll get more looks at it as we go, but first let's take a look at these team sheets if we're ready. Let's first start with Tropimon, as we're looking at an Assault Vest Annihilate with Stomping Tantrum and Final Gambit. That, I think, is this the team where we've seen the Final Gambit be incredibly impactful? No, actually,
yes,
I think this.
I believe we've.
I thought this was the
that we have
Encore
seen. I believe R7 has brought this team in the past to the tournament. I think that the Annihilate moment that you're referencing is maybe when it went for Final Gambit into opposing Dragonite and Amoonguss. To do some heavy damage in previous matches. Of course, it's also paired up with the beat-up Mousehold, so it can be activated there. Both teams looking very similar, actually, all rocking Gastrodon, Amoonguss, Talonflame. But the other Pokemon, they have a different ghost type with them. I'm excited to see what comes out. Both battlers have been selected. We will be seeing R7G7 representing Tropimon facing off against Blessed Tiger representing AureusMC.
Ooh, now Blessed Tiger has a bit of a storied past. We've seen Blessed Tiger come through as a battler. Their first battles in the tournament, they were able to secure a victory to help their team move on. That was a very close match, a very close set. They also had... I think they might have gone 2-0 to secure the victory, but they have been impactful to this run, and only later on, which is, fantastic to see, a nice closer. So R7 will be facing off against Blessed Tiger, and Blessed Tiger, on the right side of your screen, is rocking that Hisuian Typhlosion with Choice Specs, a Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, Covert Cloak Talonflame, Citrus Berry Gastrodon, Safety Goggles Tinkaton, and Leftovers Goldango. This is a bulky, or at least a little bit beefier Goldango with that Leftovers. And on the other side, we're seeing the Mouse Ape we were talking about, the Talonflame and Amoonguss Core with the Gastrodon for support, and then a Primarina rocking Throat Spray as well. And just looking at the poll, it's actually been going back and forth. The first time I looked at it, it was at 48% for Tropimon, but now it's at 52% for AureusMC. And this looks like it will be like a hotly contested match here for also the chat.
Yep. Both teams eyeing each other down, facing each other across the stadium. Right now, both battlers are still in team preview. Oh, hopefully the Pokemon send out. Yep.
And they do.
Oh, beautiful send outs.
Oh, we get the flying animations as well. It's too bad nobody's using Charizard.
We see R7 G7 lead off with Uwu Femboy the Primarina and Bird the Talonflame. Blessed Tiger leads off with his own Talonflame and a Tinkaton. Now R7's Talonflame does have Covert Cloak, so it's not really too worried about the fake out from the opposing Tinkaton. Let's see what we could do. A big Hyper Voice could come out from R7 G7 to chip both Pokemon on the opposing side of the field. I guess what we could see is maybe Tinkaton faking out into the opposing Primarina to nullify it, and maybe both Talonflame set up a Tailwind.
We do see the fake out come out from the Tinkaton, and we see a Tailwind come out from Blessed Tiger's Talonflame. There will be a dual Tailwind here, however, the Primarina is shut down for this turn. All right. We've now got it all set up. I did switch the team icons on the stream as the battlers. I'll be looking from across the tournament so that the Pokemon are on the right side of the screen for you guys with the health bars above them. And this just, I mean, the one thing I can feel at this moment is just, I'm very excited for the wing models to be added. Updated for our Pokemon in 1.7. There are a bunch of wing models coming, you know, in support of riding, if you're not familiar with the 1.7 plans. And, well, these Talonflame are getting a glow up. And also, the poll in chat is exactly 50% right now for each. Tinkaton goes down on the next turn to a Brave Bird, or Flare Blitz from the opposing. Blitz. And the Brave Bird from Blessed Tiger's Talonflame goes into the Primarina, taking it to 32%, but Primarina gets it back as it uses a big Liquid Voice, Hyper Voice, enables its Throat Spray, and now has its boost. As both Pokemon go down for Blessed Tiger, Amoonguss and Gastrodon now on the field. This is not a very offensive position. This is not looking like a strong start for Blessed Tiger here as two Pokemon go down. Of course, this Primarina might be a bit inhibited by the Gastrodon, but it still has Moonblast and Icy Wind. I think that was a very strong start, or turn 2 for R7 G7.
Yeah, I feel like if you're R7, you probably just go for another Brave Bird, probably into the Amoonguss slot, and go for something like the Icy Wind or Moonblast into Gastrodon. But R7 is looking really good after turn 1. Mousehold comes in, Flare Blitz into Amoonguss. Ancient Power, do we see an Omni Boost? Maybe? No Omni Boost. And Giga Drain hitting into the Mousehold. I'm imagining that he probably has Annihilate in the back if he brought Mousehold. Let's see. Yes,
he did give up the Throat Spray boost. However, as you say, we do see Annihilate come out onto the field, and if this Mousehold is able to get a beat up into this Annihilate, and I can't see any, well, actually, I apologize. Rage Powder is a strong tool here to potentially prevent a beat up going into the Annihilate.
Oh, so this Amoonguss can definitely start threatening with some spores right now. I guess if the Mousehold goes for something like Follow Me, it of course wouldn't need to worry that much about spore. I it probably nullifies a lot of what Amoonguss can do currently on the field.
Very true.
Um, And I imagine if you're the Gastrodon, you're gonna want to you don't really want to risk Muddy Waters, because if you do get that accuracy drop on Annihilate, all you do is increase or activate its Defiant to give it a +2 attack boost. So it is a tricky situation
Do you think you
to be in
see
right now.
a final gambit here just because there's such a Pokemon lead? We see apparently not. We see a beat up go into the Amoonguss because of oh no, sorry, this must be a safety goggles mouse hold as the beat up does go in. The Rage Fist goes into the Amoonguss. Amoonguss is down, and Muddy Water does come out, not getting a drop or Defiant
Any
boost.
accuracy drop.
Yes, so the
Oh, this is a 150 or 200 base power, I think. Annihilate, a Rage Fist, being able to go for Helping Hand. Oh my goodness, takes
Oh.
out the Gastrodon.
And a very quick round one here. I want to say that was one of the fastest I've seen, actually, of just a, like, VGC round one even. That was very quick, very efficient, and from turn two, it really felt like there wasn't much there for Blessed Tiger to do. And I'm sure they were aware of it, but, sometimes you need to take that time and strategize for the next match, as I don't think Amoonguss and Gastrodon form a great pairing in the back of power, leaving Blessed Tiger leaving behind both Goldango and Hisui and Typhlosion. That's a lot of offensive pressure there, not on the field for them.
Yeah, this Mouse Annihilate combo is looking deadly right now. Oh, I guess if you with Blessed Tiger, you do have the Talonflame and the Tinkaton, which can of course do work. But when he let them both go down, I believe turn two, it just really, really opened up the way for Annihilate to clean up in the back. So he should. I imagine that we're gonna see Blessed play a little bit more conservatively when it comes to either keeping his Talonflame healthy or his Tinkaton healthy if he opts to bring either one.
Agreed. We do get another start here, and we are seeing. Oh, it's teleporting me. Okay, that's fine.
Oh yeah, R7, same lead except he swapped out the Gastrodon or he swapped out his Primarina to bring in Gastrodon instead, while Blessed Tiger opted to bring in the exact same lead. I guess both achieved the same thing, both Primarina and Gastrodon. Primarina, of course, would naturally go for something like the Hyper Voice to hit both targets, but Gastrodon has that Muddy Water to do the exact same thing, hitting both opponents. We're probably going to see a replica of turn one where Tinkaton fakes out the non-Talonflame Pokemon and both Talonflame set up Tailwind.
Yeah, the only notable difference I would say between the Primarina and the Gastrodon, or biggest in terms of this battle, is Gastrodon, not only, of course, having that water typing is helpful against both Goldango and Hisui and Typhlosion, but also rocking the Earth power to hit the Goldango super effectively, I believe. And now we see a fake out coming out from Blessed Tiger's Tinkaton into the Gastrodon to stop it from going for anything that it was going to do, and we see both Tailwinds get set up again. Turn one down. And we are in a similar position here. This Talonflame is in danger, and so is the Tinkaton. On Blessed Tiger's side of the field from a big Muddy Water.
Both Gale Winds still intact on on either side.
We do see a double swap coming out from Blessed Tiger as the Flare Blitz goes into Gastrodon. Ooh. It's absorbed by 21%. About Ancient Power comes out into Amoonguss, and it does get an Omni Boost. Uh-oh. That is
my goodness.
Not helpful for Blessed Tiger in this already a bit dire situation. A rather cruel turn of events, even. And now, I'm not sure. Do you happen to know which Gastrodon is east and west? I'm realizing now I want to learn that.
The blue is east and the pink one is west.
All right. Well, that's perfect on screen then. In the east, we have an Omni-boosted Gastrodon ready to go to town, while the Western Gastrodon clearly just not in the same state, not ready in the same way. Now, Talonflame, due to some recoil on the last turn, did lose its Gale Wings, but still certainly the fastest Pokemon on this field. Oh, actually, maybe not with Ancient Power Gastrodon. I don't actually know how fast it gets. Amoonguss to 14% with a Brave Bird. Earth Power does come out into the Amoonguss and finishes it off. And we do see another Ancient Power from the Western Gastrodon, but no Omni Boost. Talonflame does go down as these players trade their first Pokemon in this match. Talonflame for Amoonguss. Which, after the Tailwind goes up, is a pretty good trade for R7G7, I'm sure. Now we see Mousehold come on the far side of the field, facing down this Tinkaton with Fake Out Pressure active again. Of course, this Mousehold is threatening Follow Me, so if you wanted to get at the Omni-boosted Gastrodon, now might be your best shot with a Fake Out into the Mousehold. But we'll see what Blessed Tiger chooses to do here. This Mousehold is likely threatening Encore on the following turn as well. We see Tinkaton use the Fake Out into the Gastrodon. There is an Encore as Blessed Tiger's Gastrodon has to go ahead for an Ancient Power. Unfortunate, it's a critical and does 9% damage. And no Omniboost here. So this Gastrodon on the left side of your screen is locked into Ancient Power for the next few turns. But even with an Omniboost, I'm not sure how much help that will be at the moment. Tinkaton has had its life spared from a big Earth Power, but the next turn it won't be as safe.
Yeah, nothing is really immediately threatening the Gastrodon on R7's side of the field. And, you know, with the opposing Gastrodon being locked into Ancient Power, I imagine maybe it might be in your best interest to just switch out rather than kind of just having your Gastrodon sit there without really being able to do anything. Instead, the Tinkaton switches out. In comes the Talonflame.
Encore whiffs as the...
Great switch.
An incredible switch as both Earth Power and Encore are wasted into this Talonflame slot. Ancient Power does go out, but still no boost for Blessed Tiger's Gastrodon. That's 3 now, while the Eastern Gastrodon managed to get its boost in 1. R7G7 still sitting pretty comfortably as his Gastrodon is also recovering with leftovers back to 97%. This Talonflame is, while certainly able to do some more potentially to this Gastrodon than we had before, is also in danger of a big Ancient Power still now. While it was able to avoid the Earth Power, we do see another swap, potentially baiting the Ancient Power. We see a Helping Hand into the Gastrodon on the far side. Earth Power does come out and takes out the opposing Gastrodon.
Huge hit.
And now it is just Talonflame and Tinkaton on Blessed Tiger's side of the field. And
yeah, R7 is extremely free to start setting out those muddy waters now too, since the Gastrodon went down.
Yes. This is an unfortunate position for Blessed Tiger, being fairly outmaneuvered by this team this whole time. Certainly not helped by the Omniboost from the first Ancient Power.
Yeah. Mousehold here could easily go for something like the Follow Me to redirect a potential Fake Out and just have the Gastrodon go for super free Muddy Waters here. I feel like that's likely the play that we're going to see. We know that Mousehold can't really encore anything that's on the field right now. Maybe maybe could go for something like Helping Hand. No, I don't think you would go for Helping Hand when Fake Out Pressure already exists. We do see the Follow Me. Brave Bird into the mouse with crit to take it down. And a Play Rough into the opposing Gastrodon. Barely really chips it. We see Ancient Power into the Talonflame. Down goes Talonflame on Blessed Tiger's side of the field.
Oh, painful to lose that Pokemon here, as any chance of a comeback, I think, did involve at least having two Pokemon, as Simian Ape, the Annihilate, comes on to the other side of the field, sitting next to this boosted Gastrodon, and Tinkaton is in trouble. Not long for this world, likely, as Close Combat comes out. The defense drop, of course, but Play Rough into the Ape does bring it to 1% health, but Earth Power will finish this first VGC matchup best of 3 as R7G7 takes the first match point in favor of Tropimon.
Yep, AureusMC will decide on the next format.
Now, keep in mind, this is a best of 5 match, so we will see at least 2 more rounds. And as we go into the next one, we do know AureusMC's one of their best battlers is White Spaniard, and you don't really want to, in this situation, leave something unused, one of your best assets, sort of thing. So from a strategic standpoint, I wonder if we just see we do see singles. Singles is the call out, and I wonder if we see White Spaniard step onto the field next. White Spaniard, of course, being the first person we've seen really bring stall into this tournament, and then we have seen another match since. But let's see whether or not White Spaniard is selected for this next match. And welcome everybody to the stream if you're just joining in.
You know, whenever AureusMC has had singles matches in the past, I feel like they usually always lead off with somebody, either whether it be Shirai or Dutchy Gold. So I actually expect them to show up. Knowing that there would be a Game 3 if they lose Game 2, I imagine that that's probably where they would save White Spaniard for, kind of just being the closer for their team.
Very fair.
I have received the first team. I am just waiting on the AureusMC battler. Or the AureusMC team sheet.
We will get the Poke Pastes for singles. They're a bit different. It will just be the Pokemon and not any of their abilities or moves or items. But we will get those team sheets to you shortly, as soon as we have them. As we start off the second match of this best of 5 between AureusMC and Tropimon. Whoever wins, we could either see a 2-0 lead out of Tropimon or a 1-1 tie leading into the third and potentially final. We'll see. Oh, this is going to be wild. This is our second best of 5 set, by the way, of this entire tournament. And I love that it's happening in the semifinals. The teams basically have had an option to decide between 3 or 5, and it really depends on how deep your bench is, of course, in this situation, whether or not you'd be interested in best of 5 or not. But here we do see it as these two teams bring plenty of battlers onto the field. And we do see Master Sans standing in the battler's spot for Tropimon.
Yep, I have received both teams. We're not posting it until the battlers are locked into team preview. But Vert, I did send them your way so that you can have them prepared. But I am excited for this match that we're about to see. Both battlers are chosen. We are going to see Master Sans representing Tropimon and Dutchy Gold representing AureusMC. These are the usual people that open up the singles matches for either team, so I'm excited to see them finally be able to face each other head on. Vert, you are free to drop the team sheets. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, and out of
Now,
Tropimons, go on, take it.
Master Sans rocking a Alolan Ninetales Veil team. And we are seeing Dutchy Gold rocking a more balanced team. Infernape being brought. Very cool. I think that is going to be Infernape's debut in the tournament, making its debut in the semifinals of all places. I'm very excited to see how it does. Both teams rocking a Hisuian Samurott, so there will be hazards that are going to be set up throughout the course of the match. In terms of hazard control, Master Sans does have a Cinderace, but it doesn't look like Dutchy Gold has anything on his side that would really be able to remove hazards. So that might be something that comes into play a lot later or further down the line. I guess if both sides set up spikes, it won't really matter too much. Plus, Sans is very likely to have an Auroraville on his side. Usually when you see Ninetales Alola, it tends to be the lead, so I expect that to be what Master Sans leads off with. A very common pick that we see go against Alola Ninetales leads are Goldangos. So there is also the alternative where instead of leading off with Alola Ninetales, Sans could predict the Goldango being brought out. And so he brings in something else, like maybe a potential Hisuian Samurott to kind of exert that pressure already on turn one. It's a big mind game when it comes to the leads.
Yeah, just for those in chat, there is of course items in the name of one of those pastes, but that does not mean that that is what we will see.
Yeah, we have seen people bluff with the names of their team sheets in the notes section. And we do indeed see the Alola Ninetales facing off against the Goldango. Goldango always super reliable to lead off against Alola Ninetales teams, just because it, of course, does threaten that big either make it rain or substitute on the very first turn of the match. And even if Alola Ninetales is able to set up the Auroraville, Make It Rain should still pick up the KO through the screen.
We do see the Ninetales leave and Samurott come onto the field to eat that Make It Rain. 58% health. A pretty big hit here.
Wow.
And people are still bringing in these votes. I'll end the poll now. 86 votes and 57% for Tropimon in chat. It was 50% even for quite some time.
That was a huge Make It Rain hit. I imagine that this is just a very offensive Samurott. Probably everything invested into attack and speed, nothing remaining in special defense. There are a lot of times where Samurott might have some HP and special defense investment because Assault Vest is another popular item for it, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Switches into Primarina, expecting a switch. Tangrowth comes out. Now that is a very nice switch for Dutchy Gold. Still in a good spot to be in. Let's see. I wonder what he was trying to predict with the Primarina. Maybe he anticipated Clefable coming out, which is why he switched over there. But just off of the first two turns alone, Dutchy Gold seems to be in a really, really good spot. Doing heavy chip to Hisuian Samurott, and right now having a Tangrowth facing down an opposing Primarina. Threatening Sleep Powder. Could also go for something like, let me see, I believe that it gets knockoff. I believe that it also gets Giga Drain. Let me just make sure. Yeah, in this meta, Tangrowth does have a knockoff. So it could be something that starts hammering away at Master Sans side of the field.
It was challenging for me in these singles metas that I'm not as familiar with some of these Pokemon speed tier. I believe Tangrowth is slower than Primarina, but I don't know how much so and whether that's always the case. We do see Primarina leave the field, though, as Ferrothorn takes the field, and Tangrowth also leaves in favor of Goldango.
Wow, Dutchy is not letting up on the pressure. Great switches. Ferrothorn can dish out stuff like a Gyro Ball, but if this is a defensive Goldango, it's just going to bounce off, and Goldango's going to be very free to go for something like the Substitute or Shadow Ball here. But Dutchy is playing extremely well in the early game.
Yeah, this is a very exciting chess match so far. And these players are going back and forth. Samurott comes back onto the field, takes another Make It Rain from this Goldango to 19%. And that's not great. I mean, of course, maybe hazards aren't really a huge part of this team, but losing this Pokemon just in chess match swaps is not a good thing, of course. And down the line, those hazards can make a ton of difference, especially if you're rocking any sort of knockoff to begin chipping away at any sort of boots that players might be wearing. We do see a Ceaseless Edge come out, and Rocky Helmet takes it to 2% on this Samurott.
Yep, if this Samurott goes for another attack, if it goes for Ceaseless Edge, it's not going to get that second layer of spikes up because it will die to the Rocky Helmet beforehand.
Oh.
So, you know, being 5 turns in and that being the first amount of or the first attack that Sans dishes out on a regenerated Tangrowth, it's looking rough. But you know that spike is up, and we know that Dutchy isn't going to be able to remove it over the course of the match. So we'll see just how impactful or how much of a long way that singular spike ends up going. I imagine that in this position, maybe you do something like bring in your Ferrothorn again, just because, yes, the Samurott is at 2% HP, but it is always nice to conserve a sack, just in case, you know, it might provide some valuable momentum later down. And we do see Ferrothorn gets knocked off. What is it? Leftovers. It is leftovers. Tangrowth takes that Iron Barb's chip damage, but it removes Ferrothorn's most reliable form of recovery. It does get Leech Seed, but it does get Ingrain, but you know, it's very risky to set up an Ingrain this early on in the game because you won't be able to switch out afterwards.
Very true.
I mentioned Leech. Yeah, so this Ferrothorn is likely not going to be gaining any more HP over the course of the match, so that is a huge knockoff for Dutchy.
Now, is Tangrowth, is this Tangrowth threatened at all here? I get the feeling no, but I could be wrong. I'm not familiar.
Not really. It's not really being threatened, but it also doesn't threaten the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn could do stuff like set up curses, and then it could pose a bigger threat to the Tangrowth. But all in all, it shouldn't be. Both don't really like the idea of facing off against each other. But if anything is able to kind of get something going, it probably would be a Curse Ferrothorn to start dealing out some heavier hits later down the line. We do see Tangrowth come out. In comes Goldango. Gyro Ball comes out. It is a defensive Goldango based off that 20% damage that it took from Ferrothorn. Oh man, and Goldango's right back in, and we know it just loves to go for Make It Rain. Make It Rain is super free into Master Sense side, so I imagine you just switch right back into Hisuian Samurott and let it go down.
And I believe we do have a confirmation of item on this Goldango as well, with the boots being shown here, as it does not take spike damage on entry. Samurott does come in, Shadow Ball comes out, and Samurott goes down. First blood is drawn on turn 8 here between Master Sans and Dutchy Gold.
Yeah, it's a really... Oh man, this is looking real rough for Master Sans right now. With Hisuian Samurott already being all the way knocked down, that's one less Pokemon that can threaten the Goldango on the opposing side. Same with the Annihilate. I mean, not Annihilate, with the Infernape. We see Cinderace come in to threaten a big Pyro Ball. You know, looking at this too, Pyro Ball also does threaten some big damage. We see Dragonite come in. Do we see a burn?
No burn.
Pyro Ball does have a 30% burn chance, so it definitely isn't anything to shrug off, you know.
No, we've seen these. We've seen potentially this Cinderace actually do a ton of damage in the past, actually, and really be far more potent as a sweeper than perhaps it's even here for. As of course the court change being one of its main utilities, but it proving that it has the power to withstand this meta as well.
Yeah, I wonder if you just switch in your Alola Ninetales here, hoping that the Goldango doesn't come out. Alola Ninetales does come in.
Thunder
T-Wave on the Ninetales.
does connect.
Lands.
And that could be very impactful down the road. You never know when the paralysis is going to stop your best laid plans, but also a big speed drop here.
Yeah, it could. If Goldango comes in, okay, it does get the Aurora Veil off, doesn't get fully paralyzed, which is all this Ninetales needed to do.
We're going to be doing some interesting camera work during this battle. I'm realizing now. Fondue, the Ninetales, though paralyzed, gets up Aurora Veil, leaves the field as Cinderace comes back on to face down this Goldango. Make it rain going in, just taking 18% here. And Dutchy Gold will have to swap to keep this Goldango safe.
Cinderace now behind screens. Very free to just throw off another Pyro Ball here.
Now,
besides Pyro... sorry, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, with multi-scale already broken on Dragonite, I'm just wondering what the answer here is to this Pyro Ball Cinderace. I mean, Infernape, I don't think really wants to take that. Hisuian Samurott is maybe the only other Pokemon here. Clefable, I suppose, can take it, but I'm not sure what move here we're going to see from Dutchy Gold.
Yeah, it's the burn chance from Pyro Ball that is really concerning on the opposite side. Other moves that Cinderace does get in this meta, besides Court Change and Pyro Ball, is Double Edge. Ooh, we see a swap.
Predicted swap, and it works out as Primarina is facing down Dragonite now.
That was a good swap out by Master Sans, able to threaten a big Moonblast now. I doubt that the Dragonite would stay in here, so I feel like maybe Moonblast isn't the best play to go for. I think maybe you do just go for something like a water move here. Maybe Dragonite would sacrifice itself to get off a Thunder Wave. That is, of course, a possibility, but it's not going to do major damage to Primarina. If it is Thunder Wave, it's likely not going to be running a Choice Band, and so Thunder Punch might just bounce off of the Primarina. Thunder Wave would also sometimes reveal that it might not be running a lot of attack investment and is instead more focused on bulk. So that is just further reason to, maybe not have your Dragonite take any sort of Moonblast that might come out here because you're not going to survive or really threaten the Primarina with too much else.
I like this play. As much as there was a threat of Pyro Ball here, clearly Master Sans is trying to work through this chess match quite a bit and learn from what has been happening. A Moonblast does come out and hits Clefable very hard to 63%. The snow has stopped, but the Aurora Veil should be up for a few more turns. I believe it's been 4 turns of Aurora Veil so far on Master Sans side of the field.
Now, it should be noted that both Clefable and Primarina do have the exact same base speed, but Primarina does sometimes run a little bit more speed if it leads into a more offensive set. I'm not sure if that's what we're going to see here. We might see just 2 Pokemon that speed tie against each other, but this Clefable does have the opportunity to be a little bit faster than the Primarina, depending on the sets that both players ended up rocking with.
Now, does this Clefable have much here in this position?
I think all it can really do is just throw off like a Moonblast or something just to chip down the Primarina a little bit.
We do see a swap. Goldango comes in trying to eat the Moonblast. It's a critical hit. Goldango to 38% now. It would live another crit, it looked like, of that Moonblast, but that is an unfortunate crit, I'm sure, for this Goldango.
Yeah, I don't think it threatens a KO on the Primarina right now, even with Make It Rain. And Primarina, if it's not choice locked, can go for something heavy like a Hydro Pump here. Or Spark, or Hyper Voice.
We've seen a lot of swapping here, some of it predictive, some of it to get in the way, but last time Goldango was on the field, we did see the Cinderace come in and eat and make it rain.
Yeah, that is a rough crit to take because on Goldango, one of your Pokemon that you like to have stick around a whole lot, that Moonblast critting might put it, or very likely did put it into range of being threatened by KOs. If there wasn't a crit, there is a chance it might have been able to hang on just a little bit, so that is slightly unlucky for Dutchy Gold.
Well, knowing that this is a Boots Goldango, do you think Recover is ever an option here?
Oh, for sure. In singles, you definitely want to have that Recover option available for Goldango, just because it does tend to be a longer game. And looking at Dutchy's team, because he is, a lot more balanced, I would imagine that he's running that over, or running Recover over a substitute set.
All right. Well, it is a play that could be made. Of course, maybe, as you say, Hydro Pump will offset the viability of the recovery, but let's see what happens here, as Goldango could use some recovery, but there's a lot of pressure in the back that Master Sans is utilizing very well right now, as the last few turns have been very much in favor of Master Sans, I'd say, and we are around 2 turns left of Aurora Veil, and he might want to set it up again very soon, so there is a positioning element here of will he be able to get his Aurora Veil going again, especially with that paralysis on the Ninetales, and will he be able to take any more offensive pressure, take advantage of that offensive pressure before the Aurora Veil falls off? And these battlers are staring each other down in a very tense moment. Not knowing the investments of these Pokemon, it is hard to say whether or not this Goldango could take down this Primarina or not. Of course, being very specially bulky, Primarina is one of the Pokemon in this meta used to stop Goldango a bit, or stop a lot of special attackers, and is able to take a Make It Rain often. But we'd see another Goldango come out as Recover is used on Dutchy Gold's side of the field. It is back to 88%, but depending on investment, once again, we don't know which Goldango is going to outspeed the other. We do see Dutchy Golds leave the field as Samurott comes on. A Shadow Ball comes out from Mondior from Master Sun's side of the field, bringing Samurott to 65% health.
Now, Dutchy is finally going to be able to set up a spike here. At least he should be able to set up a spike here as long as he doesn't miss Ceaseless Edge. I will say, looking at the current team states right now, the Infernape that is sitting in the back of Dutchy Gold's team is looking mighty threatening right now. We know that Master Sans still has Ferrothorn, has the Alola Ninetales, and has the Goldango. And Infernape is one of those Pokemon that, it still has its Flare Blitz move, it still has close combat, so it is going to be dealing major damage in the back. I imagine that that's why Master Sans wanted to preserve all the HP possible on Primarina, just to make sure that he has an answer for Infernape, so it doesn't, come in later and sweep his team.
Yeah, that Primarina seems to be the thing that is standing between Infernape and a potential sweep option here. So any damage, as you say, onto that thing will be important, and potentially spikes from Samurott could also be impactful, as we do see potentially a Ceaseless Edge come out here. It does go out. It misses into the Primarina. That could be actually extremely impactful.
That is a rough miss for Dutchy Gold, because this Primarina is so free to just go for another Moonblast here.
Very unfortunate for Dutchy. Now taking a crit and a miss.
Yeah, those spikes could have gone a long way, you know. That means Hisuian Samurai could have swapped out to be preserved for later. And Master Sense, you know, who we've seen switching around on the field a whole lot, um, is still free to keep doing it as long as that spike isn't set up on the field. We know that he did have Cinderay's court change in the back, but it's not really going to do anything to get rid of the... we won't really be able to see the hazards be cleared for the remainder of the match because there isn't anything like a rapid spinner or a defogger. And if spikes do go up on both sides, they're there to stay for the remainder of the match.
Very true. This seems like a tough position here. Of course, maybe the Tangrowth is the answer in this position.
I think Tangrowth takes way too much from a Moonblast.
Is it more defensively bulky? Is that the case?
I believe naturally it has more defensive bulk, but sometimes it likes to run the Assault Vest item. But either way, it definitely doesn't appreciate taking Moonblast from Prim. We see Clefable go in, Sparkling Aria comes out, and Primarina picks up the KO. Clefable has gone down. I don't think Clefable was going to do too much in this match either way because, you know, Sans does still have Ferrothorn. He does still have Goldango in the back. Both Primarina and Cinderace threaten some heavy damage to it. And now we have 5-on-5. And it looks like Dutchy Gold is going to try to play around this Primarina, anticipating it to be choice locked.
Ah, ooh. Interesting. We have seen the Primarina swap or only use moves as if to feign being choice locked, if nothing else. Use consecutive moves, that is.
Yeah, it looks like it's a gamble that Dutchy's willing to take. Maybe he ran some calcs and it was led to inclined to believe that we did see something like a choice specs, maybe. He who's in the battle is definitely going to know the roles a lot better than us who are, you know, just watching, because he knows his Clefable's EV set, so he would be able to, you know, kind of reverse engineer the damage that the Primarina did send off. Ceaseless Edge. Do we see Moonblast?
We don't see Moonblast.
Sparkling Aria comes out again. All right, so this Primarina. The spike does finally go up on Master Sand's side of the field. And that Primarina's taking chip damage, but yeah, it does look like it is indeed choice locked, as it went for the Sparkling Aria instead of Moonblast. So nice scout by Dutchy.
Well, now, if he can get this Primarina into range of a Make It Rain or something like similar to that, this becomes a position where getting Infernape in the spot that it wants is possible with Primarina going down. Also, Dragonite, of course, is often threatening a pretty big extreme speed regardless of what it's doing, so potentially just getting this Primarina out of the way could be enough for Dutchy Gold if he is confident in this Infernape.
I wonder if you preserve the Samurott or also keep it in the back as a side. I guess nothing really wants to take a Sparkling Aria. I imagine that all you do here is go for another Ceaseless Edge to set up your second spike.
I do wonder if Tangrowth can take 2 Sparkling Arias. That would be the other option potentially here to me.
It should. Maybe instead of Assault Vest, it's something like Heavy Duty Boots, since there isn't any hazard removal on Dutchy's side of the field.
Very fair.
Sparkling Aria should still do pretty big damage, but I think Tangrowth would be able to live too.
Well, this is turning out to be a fantastic match. Primarina leaves the field in favor of the Ferrothorn, who takes a big Ceaseless Edge, including spikes damage, but does remove Samurott with its iron barbs.
That was a nice play, because since the Ceaseless Edge, since the Samurott died to iron barbs during its Ceaseless Edge, that second layer of spikes does not go up on the field.
Very nice. And Infernape does make its debut in this battle and in the tournament, I believe you said earlier?
Yeah, this is the first Infernape I've seen brought to the World Cup.
Very interesting. Well, this Infernape, let's take a look. You did say Flare Blitz and Close Combat. It does rock a potential Mach Punch, a Taunt, a Slack Off, Acrobatics. I'm not seeing much else maybe that you would run, but some very good stuff here.
It's very likely that it is a physical Infernape set since its only major special move is Flamethrower. We see Fire Spin come out, interestingly enough. Explosion!
Wow!
On the Infernape.
Infernape
Wow.
to 38% as the Ferrothorn on this far side of the field goes down. It is 2 Pokemon down on Master Sand's side of the field, and now I mean, that was a nice chip into Infernape for sure, but this Primarina is gaining value quickly for Master Sans.
Man, I love when you see Explosion in a match and it actually does something, whether it be chipping the opposing Pokemon by a good amount. Oh man, and you know, being locked into that Fire Spin and still being able to go for the Explosion is amazing because it would have gone down the next turn either way. So that was probably the most value you could have gotten out of your Ferrothorn in this situation. We see Primarina come right back in. It is hurt by spikes, so definitely not heavy duty boots. Very likely that it is just choice specs.
Now, knowing that this Infernape is... knowing the specs position now, do we expect a Moonblast here? I mean, the Dragonite is very threatened, of course. Goldango potentially being the only swap left into that big Moonblast. But I think it left the field with around 80% health last time. And was able
really
to eat it.
Any move, whether it's Sparkling Aria or Moonblast, is going to be good for Master Sans. The only thing is, I guess if Dutchy doesn't want to lose a Pokemon here, he has to either, you know, swap Goldango in on Moonblast or swap Tangrowth into Sparkling Aria. So it is an uncomfortable 50-50. We see Tangrowth come in, Sparkling Aria, but Tangrowth does not eat it. Oh man, and Primarina is naturally faster than Tangrowth, so we're probably just going to see another Sparkling Aria come out.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. It is locked into Sparkling Aria, but I'm not sure how much this side of the field of Dutchy Gold can take advantage, except for Dragonite potentially. Yeah, and there it is. Dragonite at 90% health takes the Sparkling Aria and is able to survive. That was a critical hit. Now, it might be able to take 2 Sparkling Arias. Not quite, potentially. It does have Roost, likely, as Ninetales does get onto the field here, taking some damage here, and Dragonite goes onto Roost. The spikes chipping into Ninetales, but this Paralysis now coming into the spotlight here. Of course, Dragonite could be rocking Fire Punch, and if a Paralysis goes through, this is a good spot to gamble if ever there was one. Dragonite leaves the field, and Goldango comes in. Aurora Veil does go out. Ninetales evading the Paralysis again.
I imagine that Cinderace is beyond free to just make its way in. The Dragonite is back at full HP. Not sure just how far that Sparkling Aria crit was going to matter in the grand scheme of things, because I think regardless, Dragonite would have wanted to Roost either way. Yep, I guess maybe it could have been free to go for a Thunder Wave if it wasn't for the crit. Not too sure if that was potentially one of the options.
Preserving that Tangrowth, who will get some Regenerator growth, is important though, so that Dragonite coming in handy for sure. And this Primarina on Master Sand's side of the field, seemingly the most important piece, is now much more comfortable behind that Aurora Veil for the next 8 turns. 7 turns. Yeah, this Aurora Veil is going to let so many Pokemon on Sand's side of the field switch in.
and not really worry about taking too much damage in the long run.
We are in turn 27. 2 Pokemon down on Tropimon's side of the field, and 1 Pokemon down on Dutchy Gold's AureusMC side of the field. We do see a swap. Ninetales comes off the field for the Cinderace, as you say. A nasty plot goes out for Goldango here.
I wonder, do you gamble on... I don't think you would gamble on a Pyro Ball miss. I think you just switch out into Cinderace here.
That would be very dangerous, I'd say, especially seeing how much damage that Aurora Veil can mitigate. We see Dragonite come back onto the field. Is there a burn? There is no burn.
No burn.
Dragonite with multi-scale, it took 20% damage there still. So this is threatening a lot of damage, this Cinderace.
I mean, if we keep going off these same rolls, 2 Power Balls should be able to pick off a KO on the Dragonite here. I wonder if you go for something like the Roost or T-Wave. I imagine a T-Wave might be coming out for Dutchy Gold here. Because, you know, we've seen the Primarina like to come in on Dragonite. Oh, instead we see Goldango. Oh, nice Goldango switch. Immune to the Thunder Wave thanks to its Good as Gold ability. And now able to... It's behind the screen as well. Only move that Dragonite could have that does any damage is Fire Punch. But this Goldango, we could see it set up a substitute here. Or we could just see it start dishing out massive damage with either Shadow Ball or Make It Rain. Shadow Ball should be the freest option here. Yes, I think you're just extremely free to go for a Shadow Ball. If it's substitute, I feel like it might even be something that wraps up the match for Master Sans here. We do see it take spikes damage. Let's see, if it's not leftovers, it is a little bit more unlikely to be substitute because we do see leftovers as a preferred item on substitute sets. We see the Shadow Ball come in, Dragonite kind of shrugs it off, but not enough to regain its multi-scale ability.
It is closer, however, I believe, to that multi-scale than it was in the past. So if another Shadow Ball comes out and it did roost again, it would be keeping it even. So this is the chance for setup, potentially even more so if Master Sans wants to go for it. And this is a best of 5 for those asking in chat.
Yeah, it's rough when if you're on Dutchy Gold's side of the field because yes, you can keep going for the roost, but you are at risk of getting the special defense drops. You are at risk, you know, so your roosts aren't going to outlast the Shadow Balls. I believe that this Dragonite only has 6 roosts remaining.
Very true.
So it is really, really rough right now. And the Goldango is still behind the screen as well.
That said, I mean, if you can get away with wearing down some of these Aurora Veil turns, it really does feel like, you know, the next opportunity is whenever this Aurora Veil drops to try and stand in front of this Ninetales, either get lucky with a paralysis or go for something cheeky. But we have not seen any cheeky turns out of Dutchy Gold, I would say. We have been very, very strategic during this battle. Nasty Plot does come out from Goldango as Roost comes out from Dragonite, and now the trouble begins as Master Sans is setting up this Goldango.
Oh man, yeah, these Shadow Balls are going to hurt Dragonite now. And we have like, what, 3 turns of the Aurora Veil remaining, if I'm not mistaken?
I think you're right. Make It Rain does come out to 44% through multi-scale. Very impactful.
Dragon Tail to phase out the Goldango. Nice move.
And
oh, but Ninetales is not what you want to see brought right back in. Of course, is able to threaten with a big blizzard, potentially freezing anything that does decide to come in.
Very true. That is terrifying. And
see, Aurora Veil went up turn 26.
In fact, I'd say the thing we're looking for here is whether or not this Ninetales is paralyzed, or potentially goes straight out for a swap, of course, but does have quite a bit of offensive pressure here. Unless this Dragonite thinks that it can take it down from this 76% health. But with Aurora Veil up, I don't think that that's a very likely outcome.
Yeah, Aurora Veil plus the snow defense boost, and we do know that this Dragonite definitely isn't choice banned or anything like that, so very unlikely that it would be able to pick up any KO. Maybe it tries to bank on paralysis chances, or full paros on the Ninetales. No, Dutchy Gold plays a bit too conservatively, I want to say, for him to make that kind of play.
That's fair, but I think this is turn 8. I believe this is the end of Aurora Veil, so if that's the case, you could... if you were going to roll the dice, I suppose close enough to it might make sense. But this is a dangerous moment for both players. We see the Dragonite leave the field. Infernape comes back on, eating a blizzard, and is able to soak it up. And now...
Wow.
There is, of course, a defense boost, as you said, but I think Aurora Veil has fallen off. And if not, it's one turn away. So we'll see what happens here. Whether or not Fondue, the Alolan Ninetales, is preserved or is able to take this whatever next hit. Recoil, of course, not being the friend to Infernape now.
I wonder if the Fire Spin Infernape is meant to tie in with Slack Off in an effort to kind of... I would imagine that if he runs Fire Spin, maybe we do see something like Slack Off come out. And if it does trap the Ninetales, yes, Ninetales could get Aurora Veil up. I don't know. I feel like the safest play here is just Flare Blitz in what's in front of you. Surely your move here is just to Flare Blitz. Oh, we do see the Slack Off.
And the
Full
paralysis
on the Ninetales. Oh, man. It was bound to happen eventually.
It was. And here we are. Infernape standing in front of this Alolan Ninetales. It does have the snow boost, but it does not have Aurora Veil, I believe now. I'm fairly confident at this point that Aurora Veil has fallen off.
Wait,
Infernape threatening.
Maybe we see Taunt come out? If it's okay, let's see. If it's running Fire Spin and Slack Off,
well, we see a swap. Oh, and the taunt did come out.
Oh wow, nice switch, nice swap out.
And now this Primarina is threatening once again. That's the unfortunate version of this taunt. The taunt, unfortunately, has been maneuvered around, and now this Infernape has lost a bit of its ability to threaten, but maybe if it's strong enough, it can power through this Primarina. I don't really know.
I feel like Moonblast again is very free to come out. We know Sparkling. The thing with this Primarina that just is very uncomfortable for Dutchy Gold is knowing that if he makes the wrong switch, something on his team is going down.
Very true. So far, we've seen the Hisuian Samurott and Ferrothorn go down on the far side of the field. Tangrowth does come in. It is not able to eat the Sparkling Aria. But the Aria is locked in. If that is the trade that he makes for this Primarina, I think he would be happy about it. So let's see what happens now as Goldango comes onto the field. On the far side of the field, there is no Aurora Veil, so the Ninetales does want to maneuver in eventually. We could see Cinderace come in here, but it won't be as protected as it has been in the past. And other than that, it looks like Goldango would be the Pokemon. So let's see what these players are thinking. Maybe this is the chance for Primarina to turn around, but without its Aurora Veil, that would be an unfortunate time for it to go full offensive.
Yeah, I think that it is extremely likely we just see the Cinderace come right back in. We know the Dragonite's at like 40% HP, and all that remains is... wait, are the only Pokemon that remain just Goldango and... or not Goldango, is it only... Oh yeah, Goldango and Dragonite? I believe that that's all that remains for Dutchy Gold. We know Clefable went down, Infernape went down. Oh, wait, no, Infernape is still there. Of course, it just switched out.
The 3, yep. It is 3-4, I believe. Players are thinking through their options here. Sparkling Aria could be coming out big. If there's a prediction that Goldango isn't going to stay in, then we could see the swap to Ninetales. But I wonder what these players are thinking here. Oh, to be a fly on the wall. And we do see Cinderace come in. As you said, Nasty Plot comes out from the Goldango, but that looks like it will be denied, as it has been in the past, unless this Goldango is going to risk trying to stand in, as you've said before. We've seen this happen exactly as it has now.
Yeah, it'd be really rough to... Pyro Ball can always miss. Pyro Ball can always miss, and Goldango could, of course, pick up a KO on this Cinderace if that happens. If the Cinderace goes down, it does mean the Dragonite isn't going to have to worry about taking that Pyro Ball burn. We know that it's at 40%, and it likely is in a role where it can get picked off. Oh, man, it's definitely an uncomfortable position to be in, though, if you're Dutchy Gold.
Well, the chips have started falling, and this rotation for Master Sands has been working effectively, so Dutchy Gold needs to make a move at some point here to try and flip the tide of momentum. We do see Goldango leave the field. Dragonite comes on at 44%. The Pyro Ball goes in, but is not enough.
The Dragonite! Oh, man.
The burn does come through.
Dragonite will never be able to have its multi-skill intact again for the remainder of this match, since that burn is always going to chip it away. And honestly, Cinderace can just go for a power. It could go for double edge for all the matter. It does go for double edge, picks up the KO on the Dragonite. It is now normal type, so it will be immune to Shadow Balls from Goldango.
But also affected by a close combat potentially here.
Yeah, we haven't seen the fourth move on the Infernape review. Primarina can just come in though, can't it?
That's very true.
Yeah, I think that honestly, at this point, you could also probably even just sack your Alolan Ninetales. I wonder if the last move on Infernape is Torment. I feel like I'd imagine that'd be the last move, just to, you know, bring this funny trapping set all the way. AureusMC does I have noticed, when I saw the Infernape pull out the Fire Spin, I immediately thought about the Wrap Dragonite that White Spaniard also likes to bring. So it looks like that team just is definitely a very big fan of trapping opposing Pokemon in the team. It didn't really look like Fire Spin, Infernape was going to do too much in this match, but it's cool to see new strategies be tried out and attempted in the format.
Agreed. That, it just comes down to a few things sometimes, and the knockoff not going into Primarina kind of thing. We do see spikes on the Ninetales as it hits the field. Flamethrower being revealed as the final move. It does take down old Ninetales.
Okay, so Flamethrower fire. Oh yeah, Primarina is so free to go in and just dish out Sparkling Arias.
We do see three Pokemon now. It is Primarina, Cinderace, and Goldango on the far side of the field. And here we have Infernape and Goldango only left on Dutchy Gold's side of the field. I gotta say, I think maybe, as you say, it's free to go for Sparkling Aria, but the Goldango being the final Pokemon here, if a Fire Spin comes out, I wonder if Goldango has the ability to finish here. It might come down to speed, but now it's going to take this this potentially necessary damage, I suppose, forcing a swap potentially at this health.
Okay, I imagine that Infernape wanted to be preserved just to threaten the Goldango that's sitting in the back of Massive Sand's team.
Fair.
With its own flamethrower, of course.
So,
it's rough. It's rough. Goldango should be able to pick up a KO on Primarina from this if it goes for Make It Rain. Let's see. That then would invite in Cinderace, yes. I want to say, which is super free to go for Pyro Balls. Oh man, shoot, I feel like the only deciding things in this match are going to be if Cinderace lands all of its Pyro Balls.
Oh my.
And of course, Sans is Goldango's EV investment right now.
Yes.
Sans definitely in the better position, but it isn't over. Dutchy Gold does have the Pokemon that would be needed in order to, you know, pull off some or to pull off a win still. Goldango, of course, threatening everything on the opposing side. Shoot.
Well, it's coming down to the wire here now. Two Pokemon left on both sides of the field.
I wonder what move both players are thinking of making right now. I'm curious to know if Sans is maybe going to try to keep preserving his Primarina because he knows it's a win against Infernape. But I feel like, yeah, I maybe what is happening here is Sans is just kind of considering the odds of his win if Primarina does go down and leaves it all up to, you know, Cinderace landing its Pyro Balls.
Yeah, of course this Goldango is not choice locked or won't be choice locked, so it is free to make swaps, but that actually might not be in his favor. 37% it's not enough. The Shadow Ball isn't enough, and Goldango is going to go down, and that is exactly what I was about to say. Whether or not you get the KO here is kind of the biggest thing. We don't see the KO, and now this Infernape, who has a nice trapping slack off set with a flamethrower, is, I don't think it has the beef behind it to get this done, but maybe if it can work around this Cinderace, it should be able to handle this Primarina. So let's see what happens.
I mean, I wonder if it's also going to be enough to take down the Goldango.
It does have
Goldango is that it does. Goldango can of course still threaten with Shadow Balls, and if because of just how, I guess, more bulky and utility oriented this Infernape is, I don't think that a flamethrower would be enough to pick up a KO on Goldango. If I'm not mistaken, Master Sans Goldango is still really, really healthy. Probably only at like what, 80% left after it takes spikes.
Yeah, I think it's taken 2 rounds of spikes, maybe. But it is very healthy, and if this Goldango is rocking legitimate recovery as well, that won't help. I do think that it comes down to the Cinderace first, though, because can you even... well, if the Cinderace can get a... Well, no, I guess that's not it. But I wonder if the Cinderace has anything... I've never looked at its moveset, I don't think. If it has anything else to help in this situation, other than Pyro Ball.
Double Edge.
Double Edge, yes.
I think... You know what? Cinderace could also potentially just clean up the match by going for 2 Double Edges, because it should also be able to... Oh yeah, it would definitely tank the flamethrower really nicely.
Yeah.
I think Cinderace actually cleans up from here. I don't think you can do anything to stop yourself from going down. Maybe there's room for slack off and hoping the Cinderace puts itself into recoil damage range.
Oh man.
Actually that is a possibility there.
Yeah, this Infernape needs to be able to take 2, though. So we do see the Goldango come in at taking its 3rd round of spikes to 70%, I believe, or 2nd round, either way. Oh man, if this Goldango can take a flamethrower, we've got a fiery match on our hands. Or cannot take a flamethrower. This is gonna be tight. And as you said before, it's gonna come down to EV investment, I do believe. Although we don't know if that Goldango... I don't think we've seen exactly what it's wearing.
I wonder if it's Scarf Goldango.
No, well, we've seen it Nasty Plot, I want to say.
I think we've only seen Dutchy's Goldango set up Nasty Plots in this match, unless I'm misremembering. Oh no, it did Nasty Plot in front of Dragonite, so no.
I wonder if it's rocking a berry specific to a weakness, even.
Yeah, maybe Kasib Berry against opposing Goldangos.
10% health.
Doesn't pick up the KO. Shadow Ball goes through. Oh, and I think it's game over right here. Master Sans, all he needs to do is just keep spamming this Infernape with Shadow Balls, and it should be just enough for the Cinderace to put it in range, or it's for the Cinderace to pick it off with a double edge right here.
Well, let's see.
Cinderace.
We're going to see the Slack Off come out, I'm sure. Well, actually, I don't know how fast these two Pokemon...
Cinderace naturally outspeeds. Down goes the Infernape.
A close
and
match.
Master Sans secures match 2 for Tropimon. Tropimon up 2-0.
Wow, that was very well played by both these battlers, but my goodness, masterfully done. There was no, in the beginning, like you said, I do think that Dutchy Gold was outmaneuvering at first very well, but in the end, Master Sand proved to just not make any mistakes, not give up really any ground after getting up their second Aurora Veil, and yeah, that was a phenomenally played singles match.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Dutchy Gold saying that the miss on the Ceaseless Edge, or the Ceaseless Edge miss on Primarino ended up being impactful. I do agree. That one, oh man. AureusMC has to win this next match in order to remain in the tournament. Technically, there isn't any team that goes home because, of course, the loser of today will then be able to go on to the third place match. But of course, they lose their opportunity at finishing in first place. And the manager for AureusMC has confirmed singles for Game 3.
I was paying attention. I saw Shirai sneak up into the booth over there. I wonder if we'll see Shirai next, as Aureus has been known as a singles powerhouse, and Shirai is in fact back in the booth again.
I don't know, man. I feel like if I'm AureusMC, I feel like this is where I would send in heavy hitter Spaniard.
If I was AureusMC though, the play I would make too is to lead. I would have Shirai go up there and then send White Spaniard, because then if there is any counter knowledge being used, right, if they've put together a team to balance against White Spaniard, then, well, you don't want to give it away who's going next,
Of course. Shirai did step off the podium. Oh, man. Surely it's White Spaniard. We see Tornade Blanche step up for Tropimon.
You should absolutely start the mind games before the battle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they are sitting on the podium, so I wonder if they're going to be the next battler in the match. Let's see. Is anybody going for AureusMC? It looks like they're going to keep it a secret until we initiate the team preview screen.
We do see some nodding towards White Spaniard. I think this will be a fun one. And I really do hope that they're just messing around. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. And then just send somebody else, or send whoever,
Spino is now on the podium instead.
Yeah, they're playing the head games, I hope. I'm gonna baton pass to you for a moment as we set up for this next one.
I actually just got both of the team sheets.
Oh, I will post those in chat, and then I will step away for just a moment.
Sounds good. I am going to initiate them. Man, AureusMC is now, because they're down 2-0, they have to win every single match for the remainder of the tournament in order to move forward. A lot of pressure. Let's see who both teams decide to send out for Game 3. Both battlers have been chosen. Tropimon is sending in Tornade Blanche, and AureusMC is sending in Shirai. Oh man, very, very excited to see what's going on here first.
Oh, this is going to be a heated battle.
Yep, I have sent you the team sheet so that you can share it.
Will do. This first one is for Tropimon.
Oh man. The pressure that Shirai must be feeling right now.
Indeed. But if that pressure can, if they can keep it up, if they can take this victory, then they do put themselves in a very strong position. Of course, they still have White Spaniard in the back. And there's the Aureus team sheet. And we will be right back. I'm going to turn it over to Novoro for the next minute
Sounds
or two.
good. Sounds good. This could potentially be the last match in this entire set. Tropimon currently up 2-0. Let me quickly pull up some stats from the battlers on both sides of the field. Oh, actually, I can just pull up the spreadsheet. What am I doing here? In singles, we have seen. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my place in the spreadsheet. I'm going to find it right now, though. Tornade Blanche has made 2 appearances in the World Cup before, losing against Planeta Cobblemon in the quarterfinals, I believe that was, but coming out victorious against PokeClash in the group stages. So he currently has a 1-1 record. And as for Shirai has also made 2 appearances in the tournament, winning a group stage match against Cublets Cobblemon, but losing in I believe this was a round of 16 match against Dex Masters. So he is 1-1. Both players do have an equal record, and we do see the match begin. We are seeing Samurott face off against Samurott right now. Identical leads, the mirror matchup. And let's see who's going to be going for the spikes. I imagine here that both players would definitely just want to go for Ceaseless Edge. We saw how impactful a spike is. I think all you do here is just go and try to set it up.
I am back. And we will get this battle properly spectated now as the Samurats face down each other. Shirai versus Tornade.
Yep, still no move on either side, but I feel like all you do here is just go for Ceaseless Edge on both sides. I don't think it'd be worth switching into anything else.
Now, taking a look at these teams, just as a, let's see, so Tornade here is rocking a Mamoswine, Goldango, Donphan, Paldean Tauros, Glowking, and Samurott. And we actually do see a swap on the AureusMC side of the field as Shiinotic comes in to face down this this Hisuian Samurott, and a good amount of chip here from the Rocky Helmet as almost as much damage goes in from recoil there.
Now, Shiinotic is a really popular pick in this format specifically thanks to its really good typing of Grass Fairy, which, shuts down his opposing Hisuian Samurott, shuts down Meowscarada, importantly in this format as well. Does real nice against Donphans. We've seen Shiinotic put in a lot of work, and its moveset is also incredible. It has access to things like Strength Sap, Moonblast, Giga Drain. I believe it gets Leech Seed. So in terms of just fulfilling a strong niche thanks to the circumstances in the meta, it definitely holds its weight. It has Moonlight as well.
Something
Sleep
impactful.
Powder 4.
I always like to look for it. We do see the Blaze Paldean Tauros come in, and Samurott comes back in. Nice play here as the Samurott avoids Intimidate as well. Something I always look for on these teams is the Arctazult with the Glowking. When both teams are rocking a Glowking and there's an Arctazult in the back, that is such a nice thing where the opponent can set up the snow for you. And I do wonder if that will come into play impactfully as on the Shirai side of the field, there is an Arctozolt, and on both sides of the field, there's a Gloking.
Yep. We see the Tauros facing off against Samurott. Tauros naturally does outspeed Samurott if they're both fully invested into offense. It could go for something like the close combat to pick up KO on Samurott. Samurott, maybe it's running a choice scarf. I don't think we had that item revealed quite yet. I would say though, you definitely don't set up a CC. Yeah, we see Gloking come out. Close combat does go in, reveals that it is running that item, and Gloking tanks it very comfortably. Of course, 4 times resist to fighting moves, and honestly, very free to set up either a future sight or chilly reception. I would go for chilly reception just because Gloking usually invites in opposing Hisui and Samurott, and so you definitely don't want to set up a future sight with that being on the field.
I don't know if I've ever seen a close combat hit for only 9%. I know it happens, but like that's tough. And I like what you're saying there about setting up a potential counter to Hisui and Samurott with the chilly reception, as opposed to the future sight, which would, of course, be absorbed well.
Now, alternatively, this Tauros could be running something, or could also be running Flare Blitz or Raging Bull to do big damage as well. Slowking, I think if it's running Surf, it could honestly maybe pick up a KO from this range. So it is definitely in a good spot. You know, Shirai has options here.
So far, I am impressed with the start here from AureusMC once again.
Now, I am running some calcs, and just by seeing that the Slowking Galar only took 9% from it was 9%, right? Not
yep.
There's like no leftovers, but yeah. From that close combat, it does mean that it does have a physical defense investment. Looking at it, it's very likely that this is a bold 252 defense Slowking Galar.
Wow. Well, we see Donphan come in for the Tauros, and this bulky Gloking will be leaving this field on a chilly reception and bringing in someone against this Donphan. We do see another Dragonite on. We haven't talked about Shirai's team necessarily yet, but the Hisui and Samurott, the Goldango, the Arctozolt, the Shiinotic, and the Gloking, which we've already seen, they are accompanied by a Dragonite, which has been a popular Pokemon, of course, in the meta by itself, but also used of note by this AureusMC team. And Shiinotic comes in hurt by spikes at 69% health against this Donphan. And you did mention it as a strong counter to Donphan in this meta.
Yeah, Donphan doesn't really exert any pressure on Shiinotic. I will say, I think though, I feel like this is going to be Shirai attempting to double switch here because, yes, you could go for Strength Tap, you could go for Giga Drain, but you don't want to invite in opposing Goldango. Slowking Galar could also come in, so I imagine that this is just going to be an attempt at, you know, kind of shifting the battlefield with a double switch that could be coming out. Donphan Sturdy is going to be huge in this match, so I assume that you don't even want to risk it just in case the Shiinotic does decide to go for the Giga Drain. There's just so many different outcomes that could come from this turn.
Well, these battlers are considering their options heavily, and you know, I really like, as I said in the last battle, actually, we do see Donphan leave the match. I'll continue my thought later. Moonlight comes out as Shiinotic comes back to near full health, but with the snow, it is limited on its recovery. In the last match, I mentioned that I'm a huge fan of when teams do use closers properly, as like, you know, you want to sort of build towards your best player if you can. Now, in this position, it's really hard to do that. We do see Make It Rain come out from Samurott, taking it just below 50%. There was a special attack drop, so potentially that's not enough to remove the Samurott, but definitely a more precarious position than you'd like, I suppose. And that feels like the biggest make it rain we've seen into a Samurai, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, still in range of it being very likely just being a 252 timid Goldango. Um, Samurai extremely free to just go for a ceaseless edge right here as well.
Now, we haven't talked about hazards as much on this team, but on the opposing side of the field, there is a Donphan, and
yeah, so Tornado, of course, is going to be able to rapid spin any hazards away. Shirai himself doesn't have any hazard control. He only has Suian Samurai to set up. We see Ceaseless Edge land into the Tauros. Spikes are now active on both sides. If the Donphan isn't running heavy-duty boots, its sturdy will be broken upon it hitting the battlefield. So that could be very, very important later down the line.
And this Samurai is revealed to be wearing boots. You know, it's hard to differentiate sometimes in terms of the quality of matches, but we did see almost a 50-turn match earlier with pretty little amount of stall, I would say, between Master Sans and Dutchy Gold. A phenomenally well-played match, and we are seeing another clinic of, I think, how to play these singles matches. And I'm very excited to see just how this develops. We're still at the beginning of this meta. Of course, it is developing, but I am confident that there are still many tech choices people will make down the line. We do see a swap to Samurott from Tornado into a Glow King on the other side of the field.
What a swap. Nicely done by Tornado to bring in Hisuian Samurai and immediately threaten Ceaseless Edge again on the opposing side. Maybe you go for another double and bring your Goldango in on Shinotic or something here. Ooh, but that was nicely done by Tornado.
We do see the Shinotic come in.
Goes for another Ceaseless, but it misses.
This is a reverse of what we saw last game, potentially, as the Fairy type evades the Ceaseless Edge here. Last game it was Primarina avoiding Dutchy Golds, and this game Shirai's Shinotic has evaded the Ceaseless Edge.
Yeah, this Hisuian Samurai is revealed to be wearing heavy-duty boots as it didn't take that Spike's damage on the field.
I'm going to take a look at Shinotic. I know you mentioned that it has a bunch of different tools in this meta.
Yeah, Moon Blast, Giga Drain, Strength Sap, Spores, a Stun Spore. What else does it have? Moonlight.
Yeah, some very interesting threats here. You know, if there is a win here out of AureusMC, I expect some incredible matches still ahead of us between these two teams. They have not reached the bottom of the barrel of their, like, you know, maybe there is no bottom of the barrel is the point. Moonblast does come out from the Shinotic.
Good Moonblast.
Very nice. Special attack drop. Not that that's going to matter against this Tauros, but a fantastic play here as Samurott is forced out and Tauros eats and absorbs the payment here.
I wonder if this Tauros does get rest. I wonder if it's running that in this format. I wonder if it's like Resto Chesto.
That could be a very nice threat.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, looking at potential future matches, we know that that AureusMC still has a white Spaniard in the back, but we also know for singles, and we also know that Tropimon still has Idilias in the back for VGC doubles. So there, if this isn't the last match, there's still some really heavy hitters that are just waiting in the back.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic there, where if AureusMC does win, Tropimon will get to pick the next format here. Well, also all of the formats, in fact. So White Spaniard might not even get another chance in this stance if Tropimon does want to continue going for doubles after this. Glow King comes onto the field to face this flare blitzing Tauros, takes about 38% as recoil goes into the Tauros. Now that Tauros will not live another swap in at this point, so if it's not Resto, or Resto Chesto, if it's not Rest, then it is likely going down here, potentially, depending on what the Slow King does, of course. He could be used as a sack later, but taking a look at the player stats here, trying to look for who else there is in terms of so Tropimon still has Pishad. I don't know if that's who you mentioned earlier.
I mentioned Idilias earlier, but they do have Pichad for another singles match.
And then for a doubles match for AureusMC, they have MX named Panda, who is 4-1 in this tournament, still sitting in the back, waiting in the wings. We do see another flare blitz.
Another flare blitz.
The Tauros will go down here. And Glow King slacks it off.
Nice slack off.
Well played.
Real nice slack off.
Might have been a pause there.
I imagine that the Hisuian Samrock just comes right back out. I guess Goldango could potentially also make its appearance in the match.
I believe that was the first Pokemon to go down on turn 12. Mamoswine comes in and is hurt by spikes.
Big Mamo hits the field. Let's see, does Mamoswine get Icicle Crash on this?
No.
No, it gets Ice Shard. It gets Ice Fang. Oh man. A big Earthquake could be coming out over here. Ice Fang, of course, also threatening both Shiinotic and Dragonite. Earthquake threatening Slowking, Galar, Goldango, Arctozoa as well. This is one of those Pokemon that, very similar to the Primarine in the last match, is gonna be picking up a KO if it gets its turns right every single time.
Yeah, this seems like a major threat for Shirai's side of the field. What item do you expect this to be using? Is this a Choice Scarf moment, typically?
Shoot, yeah, I feel like the items that Mamoswine likes to write are either going to, it's either Choice Scarf, Choice Band, or Life Orb is what I want to say. Mamoswine is rocking right now.
The Life Orb is nice if you want to go for that Ice Shard to finish something off, I feel like. But here we see Shiinotic come in expecting the Earthquake, and the Earthquake does come out. 41% health here. Now, importantly, there was no chilly reception, so a Moonlight from the Shiinotic will be more impactful. But I wonder if it is... well, we don't see actually the Life Orb damage, so we can maybe assume this is choice locked, and maybe that's what Shirai is going to do and go for the Moonlight, because if it wasn't, I do wonder whether or not an Ice Shard would be enough to pick it up, or a big Ice Fang.
Now, it did take a decent chunk from the Earthquake either way. Let's see.
think it was about 30% damage, if I'm not incorrect. It might
Oh
have
yeah, I
been
mean,
less, 25 maybe?
shoot, I wish we could, or I wish I could see real quick. Let me actually rewind stream a little bit, because then that could be something that reveals the item.
I thought it was 66% health for Shiinotic when it came in, but I'm not sure.
69 down to 41, so it took 28%. Yeah, this is a. Actually, I'm still not sure if it's running choice band. No, choice band. All right, I think it is actually very likely Scarf, because choice band would have done at least 31%. So it's very likely just going to be a choice Scarf Mammoth Swine instead.
Okay.
I hope I'm not messing up calcs anywhere.
Well, either way, it's likely choice locked, which I think is very, very important for this moment. We do see the... Oh, it is not choice locked. We see the Ice Fang come out. That is an incredible turn of events. I don't know what this Mammoth Swine is rocking. It's not rocking boots. It could have been maybe wearing a focus sash. That did bust
Maybe,
on swap in, but...
Yeah, maybe Never Melt Ice.
We see no effect spore. We see some Rocky Helmet chip into this Mammoth Swine to 71%, but a very... surprising tech move here with this Mammoth Swine not being choice locked and picking up the KO on this Shiinotic. I'm sure that AureusMC was not predicting that turn of events, or they would not have left their Shiinotic in here.
I see Bafiro in chat saying Assault Vest. That's definitely still an option available.
Here comes Samurott facing down this Mammoth Swine now.
Yeah, it looks like all of our item predictions were wrong. Not life orb, not choice items. Assault Vest is very likely too. It's not boots.
We do see the Mammoth Swine leave the field as the opposing Samurai comes in. Razor Shell goes into it, taking it to 50% health and getting a defense drop.
Defense drop.
This could be a speed battle here.
Man, Shiinotic going down means that this Samurai is going to be dishing out really, really free ceaseless edges if it's, able to survive another turn over here.
Yeah, if it does go down, or if it can at least get hit here and it doesn't go down, there is a Dragonite to potentially extreme speed it, and maybe deny those sorts of things. But of course, there is a Goldango in the back as well, so I don't know how often that comes into play for these players. I feel like I have not seen Dragonite be used in that way, but that is what I think of.
Yeah. Ooh, the Dawn Fan also opens up a whole lot more with Shiinotic being down. Yikes. There's a lot to consider here. Man, I think the other uncomfortable thing about two Samurais facing off against each other is that their moves aren't 100% accurate either. We see Shy Ride Samurai leave the field, Dragonite comes in, Ceaseless Edge comes out. It does connect, doing, what is that, 23% to Dragonite?
Pretty solid amount of damage here to start.
I wonder if you just set up a Dragon Dance here as on your side of the field, so that you can outspeed Samurai at the next turn. That would mean inviting a third layer of spikes though on the field. If you have no hazard removal, it's likely you got boots on almost everything in the back.
This battle does feel like it's starting to slip in favor of Tropimon after that Shiinotic goes down, and AureusMC needs every bit of momentum they can get, so every turn here, I'm sure, is dire.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Dragonite can still bring things, like, it can still turn things around in this match right now. I will say Tropimon definitely does look like they're in the favorable position, but it's definitely far from over still. A lot of things can go either way. Samurott can miss Ceaseless Edge. We see Mamoswine hit the field. Dragonite goes for the Roost. Okay. Nice play for sure. The Mamoswine is in, and it can just go for Ice Fangs right now.
Threatening, yes.
It should also outspeed Dragonite, and could go for something like the Ice Fang. I don't think 2 extreme speeds will pick up a KO. Dragonite might be able to shrug off the combination of Ice Fang. I mean, it might be able to. It definitely should be able to shrug off at least one Ice Fang.
Well, you never know what these Dragonites are running, but Fire Punch is also an option here, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that picks up a KO either, but...
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be a Thick Fat or Oblivious Mamoswine.
Oh, very good point,
I imagine it'd be Thick Fat. Just because Taunt isn't really... Taunt and Intimidate aren't really too prevalent in singles.
Oh. Tough.
What's Mamoswine's speed? Does Mamoswine naturally outspeed Goldango? It doesn't. Okay.
Goes out to 35% for Dragonite, but Outrage comes out. This Dragonite is committed to the Outrage. And Mamoswine does go down. That is the second Pokemon down for Tornado Blanche, as Tauros did go down. And this Dragonite, provided it can outspeed whatever's coming on here, will be able to at least put out another big hit.
Yeah, I imagine we're either going to see Goldango or Hisuian Samurott hit the field. Both should be able to pick up the KO on Dragonite from here. If it is a bulkier Goldango, it might not have enough speed to, avoid taking a big Outrage from Dragonite. And of course, if we see Hisuian Samurott hit the field, we're also... could potentially just see Ceaseless Edge miss, or maybe we could see Sucker Punch come out. Maybe that might be the safest play. Let's see, Samurott, Hisuian.
We do see the Samurott come out. The format of this tournament is best of 5 for this match, first of all, which is 2-0 in favor of Tropimon at the moment. But the format swaps between singles and doubles based on a little bit of chance to start the game and what the loser picks as the next format of the battle for the next point. If it is a VGC match, it will be a best of 3 between those battlers, and if it is a singles match, it'll be a best of 1, as Ceaseless Edge does come out, outspeeds Dragonite, and Dragonite goes down in the middle of its Outrage.
I believe that also means all 3 layers of spikes are now up on Shirai's side of the field with no way of them being removed. Oh man. This Ceaseless Edge is looking devastating right now.
Yeah, this is one of the first times it has felt as if things have just sort of turned in terms of type advantage, even a bit. There seems
I feel like that that Ice Fang into Shiinotic a couple turns ago might have been, the pivotal moment of the match. Once that Shiinotic went down, Mamoswine, Donphan, and Hisuian Samurott were able to just start running rampant for Tornado Blanche.
Yeah, let's see if Shirai can pull anything out here. But they are down 2 Pokemon now. 3 Pokemon now. I think their Samurott might be down as well. I'm not sure, actually. But we see Glowking come in against the Samurott.
We know that it's fully fizz def, so I believe it is able to shrug off a hit from what am I trying to say? From a Ceaseless Edge.
And it does. Arctozolt comes in off the chilly reception, hoping to set up this Arctozolt now here. That's can't be easy with Donphan in the back. I'm not really sure actually what the best... I've never used an Arctozolt myself, so I'm not sure what the best counters are here, but this does seem like the best option he has, and having that Glow King be able to take the Ceaseless Edge and regenerate. It won't be able to take 2 in a row. It does need to regenerate twice between Ceaseless Edges, but this Arctozolt is now in position at least, and it is
heavy duty. It is also heavy duty boots. We see Sucker Punch go into Arctozolt, Freeze Dry, that should pick up a KO.
And
it does pick up the KO.
So now I believe it is 3 Pokemon to 3 Pokemon. We have Goldango, Donphan, and Glow King in the back for Tornade Blanche to pick from.
Oh,
and
man.
Donphan comes out. It is not rocking heavy duty boots.
That might be huge. Arctozolt might be able to pick up a KO with Blizzard here. Whoa, wait. If it's not heavy duty boots and there's no sturdy, this Donphan might not be able to survive Blizzard from Arctozolt. Yeah, Arctozolt does threaten the KO right here with a fully invested. If it's maybe it's Assault Vest Donphan. If it's Assault Vest Donphan, it will be able to tank the Blizzard comfortably. Of course, we are running the risk of freeze chance as well. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! By this not being heavy duty boots, it's looking real exciting now. Donphan, you don't go for anything except Earthquake in this scenario. And Arctozolt, I'm pretty sure all you do is go for Blizzard. Oh man, the way he brought... Okay, wait. The way he brought in Donphan makes me believe that it could very well be Assault Vest. Maybe it's Assault Vest so that it takes on Goldangos. Oh! This is...
Well, this turn may decide it. I think if this Arctozolt goes down, then the tools have really been diminished for Shirai. But if it goes down, who knows? There is a Goldango left, at least on Shirai's side of the field with the Glow King, I believe. But we're running low on items here. Blizzard does come out, does not pick up the KO. Earthquake comes out. Also doesn't pick up the KO. No freeze.
Shoot, that snow defense boost came in so clutch. Oh my goodness.
Very big live here.
I wonder, does Donphan get Ice Shard in this format? It doesn't get Ice Shard. Oh man, so it's definitely going to be going down.
Yep, I think this is definitely going to be a Donphan go down, but then from here, what do we see? We do see a Goldango in the back, I think is the last tool of Tornade Blanche. This Arctozolt, however, it's just important to remember, it can't swap back in at this point either. So there will, because of the stones...
No, it has heavy duty boots.
Oh, it does have
so
boots. Oh, interesting.
Wait. This might actually be able to clean up from here, because the only thing left on Tornade's side, I believe, is Slowking Galar and Goldango, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed.
Wow, we have got a match on our hands. Arctozolt being so huge in this format. I love seeing it brought to all these teams. It has an incredible move pool.
I'm a big fan of seeing the Galar fossils in general. Just they are potent Pokemon. They have a role to play in different weathers, and it's very exciting to see them get a chance.
Yeah, Dracovish shining in doubles. Arctozolt shining in doubles. I mean in singles.
Yes, indeed.
Sometimes we do see Dracozolt also make its appearance. The only one we haven't seen yet is what's the fish one?
Arctovish,
the fish
I think.
One? Arctovish, yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
Down goes Louis the 14th.
and Edith Piaf comes on, or Edith, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but comes onto the field.
A big Bolt Beak should be coming out from Arctazor here. Ooh, if you're Tornado, you better hope that you have something that directly damages Arctazor. I guess you could go for Toxic. Here, you know, usually when we see Slowking, it only really runs Future Sight as its attacking move. So I doubt that there's anything that's going to do immediate damage. Toxic might mean that it hangs on for another turn, though. What, off the top of your head, do you know how much that first turn of Toxic does? Is it
6 or 8? I'm not sure which.
Got you.
We see Arctazor leave the field. Goldango comes onto the field as Chilly Reception goes out. Interesting move here.
Insane Chilly Reception. Insane Chilly Reception.
Is that good?
Wow.
I don't know if that's good.
No, it's
Oh, wait, the snow stopped. Oh.
That Chilly Reception meant, so if Goldango would have came in right there, it would have been fully free to just spam Shadow Balls. We see Kev Adams live on 4%, but the opposing crit on the opposing Goldango. Shy Rise goes down.
You gotta be kidding me right now. Aureus does not need that. There is a Glow King here, though, on Shy Rise side of the field, I believe, to be able to put the snow back up. I don't remember what health it's at, though. It might not be able to take whatever hits coming its way.
Oh, I'm curious to know how much.
Samurai!
Oh, his Samurai is still there in the back.
We have Sucker Punch coverage here now, but, you know, if this... Well, there's no substitute threat, so
Samurai,
yeah.
Yeah, Samurai also tends to be naturally faster than Goldango in this format.
Yeah,
I think Shirai might actually be able to pull it off here.
I think you're right. I do think you're right. Time for 3 ceaseless miss. It says R7G7. Oh.
I think your only move here is make it rain because Goldango does not do anything. Maybe we see Recover come out. Recover would be crazy.
Recover would go crazy, actually. That's terrifying. So I guess that does put a damper on the Sucker Punch. But we did see the other Goldango outspeed this one. So Shirai, I'm sure, knows whether or not this is a threat speed-wise or not.
I mean, it could have been a speed tie at the end of the day. So there's no guarantee as to which Goldango was faster.
I just mean, like, if Shirai had, like, say, Scarf or something like that, he would know, right? So Razor Shell comes out. Potentially protecting from a switch, I'm not sure. And now Glow King comes in. Is this the last Pokemon for Tornado? I think it might be.
Yeah, and I think Shirai is going to be able to... Yeah, Shirai should win from here on out. It should be game over. I can't see Tornado being able to do anything against this. Ceaseless Edge can always miss 5 times in a row, of course. But... Ceaseless Edge does land. Slowking hangs on. We see the Toxic come out on Samurai. And everything is coming down to if these moves miss right now. Because Slowking, only thing it's going to do is go for the slack offs here. There's always potential that it happens. Surely it's over. Surely Shirai doesn't get unlucky and misses hits.
Miss Ceaseless Edge, Surf Crit, you know? Even in that case, there is more stuff.
Lands and Shirai takes the game.
We do see a 4th game pushed in this match as AureusMC is able to win the 3rd round of this best of 5. And we will see a round 4. And Tropimon will be able to pick what the next format is.
I feel like we're going to see doubles be chosen on their side of the field.
Okay,
wow, I had no idea that the Hisui and Samurai... Oh, doubles already!
Choose doubles right off. Slippy,
they are quick.
If you are here, Slippy, I have a request if you're able to do it. I have all of the numbers except for 1 to 2. Which is just funny. It's the only one I don't have.
Oh, yeah.
I also don't have 2
we never
to,
counted
actually.
The best of 5.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, give me a minute.
Awesome. I just remembered that's a fact. Okay, well, it is 1-2.
The game is alive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to doubles, which means we do expect Idilius to come out for Tropimon, who, let me pull up this sheet again. Idilius is 6-2 in overall matches, with an overall win rate of 100% in terms of taking the full match, and only...
We're probably going to see them face off against MX Panda, who's 5-1, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't see the 5-1, but they are 4-1.
I have just received the first team sheet. It looks like AureusMC is still deciding on which battler to send in.
Totally reasonable. Oh, they are hanging on. And I think it's important to note that if there was going to be a singles match in the 5th round, we would see White Spaniard, I'm certain, and that would be pretty incredible. I'm not going to say I'm rooting for it, but I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, the AureusMC manager has reached out and said that they do need a little bit more time on deciding who goes up and which team they end up choosing. Oh my goodness.
A 4th game forced. Even after that Shiinotic goes down, the Dracozolt, or Arctozolt, being able to withstand at 7% and take a few KOs, and even the Goldango getting crit couldn't stop Shirai from putting or keeping Aureus back in this this match. And now we go to doubles, which was handily won, I would say, in the first round by R7G7. So AureusMC needs to be able to pull out this best of 3 VGC set in order to tie up this match and push a game 5 to potentially be able to go on try to win this tournament in the finals.
This is the second, or this is the second best of 5 in the entirety of the tournament. The first one was also between Tropimon, but their opponent was Planeta. That one did end up going to a game 4 with Tropimon closing it out. I wonder if they're going to look to close out their second best of 5 in game 4 here as well. Idilius being their battler is huge. I have just received the second team sheet. And I am now going to be queuing up the matches. Let me just verify. Let's see. Tournament, validate team for this player. Looks like they're ready. And now for the other player. It looks like they're set up. So I will begin queuing.
There is, of course, Just Shark as well, sitting in the wings.
Yep, I am exchanging team sheets right now.
Thank you, Slippy.
Team sheets have been exchanged. I'm sending them your way as well. And we do see Idilia stepping up for Tropimon and NX named Panda stepping up for AureusMC. Oh, this is going to be a good match. NX named Panda is going to be rocking the Dozo Giri combination.
I will be sharing those with chat in a moment. The graphic should be updated now. And let me get these team sheets. First team sheet is for Tropimon. And the second for AureusMC. All right, so we see a similar team sheet as we've seen in the past with the Ballad of Matt and Micah from Idilius, with a Gastrodon rocking a Citrus Berry, a Covert Cloak, Prankster Whimsicott, Rocky Helmet Volcarona with Flame Body, a Blaze Hisuian Typhlosion rocking a Choice Scarf, a Focus Sash Tinkaton, and a Safety Goggles Intimidate Salamence for Idilius. And on the other side of the field, the Dondozo Giri with a Leftovers, Rest, Wave Crash, Order Up, and Sleep Talk. That's gonna be a bulky one, I'm sure. A Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, Choice Specs Goldango, Life Orb Salamence with Intimidate, and a Covert Cloak Talonflame with Gale Wings.
Now, we have seen Idilius in the past kind of relish against Dozogiri, with this combination of Gastrodon and Charm Whimsicott.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine he'd have those in the back. Oh, man.
I think this Talonflame is a good counter to Idilius, however. Or it's a good Pokemon in this situation. With the Covert Cloak, it can't be faked out. It does threaten Whimsicott in return, which is a Covert Cloak. So if it did go down, it doesn't have the Focus Sash. I wonder what we see here. And these Salamence are rocking different sets. We do see Dragon Claw coming out of the AureusMC side of the field, and Crunch on Idilius side, Tropimon side. Oh, this is gonna be one for the ages, folks. Now, I think that for Idilius, he's talked about it in the past, I believe, that the Salamence is here with the safety goggles to try and mitigate Amoonguss. And so that Amoonguss on AureusMC's side of the field, I do wonder how well it will be able to help against this team. There's a lot of spread damage here for Idilius. Oh. Well, we will find out very soon as we get the fourth match underway between Tropimon and AureusMC in the Champions Arena in the Cobblemon World Cup.
Both sitting in team preview.
And they are done. They're ready to go as Amoonguss comes out next to Talonflame for MX Name Panda, and Gastrodon and Tinkaton come out for Idilius.
This is a real nice lead for NX Name Panda. Immediately being able to exert pressure on the opposing side. His Talonflame can, of course, go for the Flare Blitz into Tinkaton. The Amoonguss threatening sleep on both sides of the field. That was a real nice lead for Name Panda.
I think what we've seen in the past is some really good swaps on these turn ones. You know, Fake Out, of course, it is threatening the Amoonguss, but is that a Focus Sash Tinkaton? It is a Focus Sash Tinkaton. It will lose its Focus Sash if it fakes out. I would expect this Tinkaton not to stay on the field, and that makes for an interesting dynamic. If MX Name Panda can predict what's coming in, I do think that might be one of the biggest plays we could see right now, as this Gastrodon is threatening with Muddy Water. Quite a bit of damage on this Talonflame, and whether or not you go for Tailwind or you go for a damaging move is going to come down to what the win conditions are here. No doubt they have practiced against this team. I fully believe that Idilius' team has been scouted and has been strategized against and even built for. So I do expect there to be some good strategies coming out from MX Name Panda.
Man, if Panda ends up pulling off this win, we're going to see one of the most intense game fives of the entire tournament.
Yes. Yep. I have deeply enjoyed watching Adilius play, but this is the first time I'm so sorry, but I am rooting against him because I want to see that White Spaniard battle. White Spaniard has been so confident throughout we've interviewed him multiple times, and he's been very confident with his team, saying it could be anything. And well, there's no better time to do it than elimination to get into the finals in Game 5 of our second best of 5. So, you know, as strong as Adilius' team is, and as strong of a battler as he is, we do see a fake out into the Amoonguss, giving up the focus sash from the Tinkaton. Bravebird comes out into the Gastrodon, chipping in. I bet that could be very powerful. We see the Ancient Power come out, however. No Omniboost.
Ooh, takes out the Talonflame.
Talonflame goes down. Oh, and this is trouble now. I do think this is trouble with Dondozo in the back. We assume that Tatsugiri is also in the back now. I wonder... Oh, no. I don't... This makes me feel as if MX Name Panda is now on the back foot. But let's see if this Dondozo can work anything up here against a player who has shown the ability to counter Dondozo well with this team. We may see Whimsicott come onto the field using its Charm or Giga Drain against this Dondozo. Tatsugiri also not matching up well into the Whimsicott, which has Moonblast access. We don't know what the fourth Pokemon is yet for Panda, but this could be trouble. Screech Owl, thank you. We're doing our best. Well, I'd say this is a very big turn. Gastrodon, of course, shutting down the Wave Crash from Dondozo. And Whimsicott being a major threat offensively. And likely in the back as Adilius, on Adilius' side of the field. We have seen that in the past. And Amoonguss is not threatening in the way that you'd like right now. Whimsicott does come out. Gigaton Hammer into Amoonguss isn't enough to remove it. Wave Crash comes out predicting a swap here as Giga Drain is not enough to help pick up the KO. It looks like... Oh, that was into the Gastrodon. So that was as a backup maneuver. This Amoonguss was going into the Gastrodon slot with Giga Drain. But the Wave Crash instead is able to go off. No KO is taken. And this Prankster Whimsicott, which wasn't rocking a Focus Sash or anything like that, does get chipped into, but is now in a pretty good position. This Amoonguss is rocking Clear Smog, so can hit this Whimsicott pretty hard if need be. And we either will see a Charm or a Giga Drain out of this Whimsicott likely next turn. You know, if it is a Salamence in the back as well, the Salamence is not threatened by Amoonguss. It does have Intimidate, which will have its own value. This team is built for this.
I imagine that we're just going to start seeing the Whimsicott charming into the Dondozo on the other side of the field. Just to, you know, start neutralizing it as early as possible. I wonder if Panda did read up on Adilius' team, though, and knows to kind of work his way around that.
Agreed. I wonder what we see here. I mean, it's a really tough moment. I think that if Tatsugiri is in the back, I think that this is Adilius' game to win. But if Tatsugiri isn't in the back, then I actually think this comes down to so many different things. And we could see a very shocking play coming up here. But if MX Name Panda is playing this kind of on a script the way that we've seen in the past, then I do think Adilius has the edge. He has the tools to deal with this Dondozo, and he's shown that he can do it in the past. And I think Adilius is locked in on his moves if he's doing the shimmy the way I do, so we'll see what MX Name Panda comes up with. Now, in this situation, Amoonguss is... it's threatening damage onto the Whimsicott, of course. You want to see this Tinkaton go down if you can, and we have seen in the past the Gastrodon get a boost that causes a lot of issues. Gastrodon does come back out. Whether or not Wave Crash comes out, let's see. We see Typhlosion enter the field. The Wave Crash boosts Gastrodon. It is at 62%, which is good. Giga Drain comes out and removes it immediately. That is a massive play for MX Name Panda. Removing the stop for the Wave Crash, Typhlosion being in the back is a huge, very bad thing for Adilius in this matchup. Of course, Amoonguss is threatened by the Typhlosion, of course, but this Typhlosion will get one good move off. And if Dondozo can survive and thrive afterwards, then this Typhlosion could be very short for this world. We do have Tinkaton still in the back, capable of exerting some more fake out pressure. This isn't over by any means, but getting rid of that Gastrodon without it proccing its Citrus Berry after the boost, a very big move for MX Name Panda. Great moment for them. Whimsicott comes back out. We don't see the Tinkaton, no fake out pressure yet. Fake out pressure still active in the back, which is likely going to be needed to keep this Typhlosion safe.
I wonder, do you just Sunny Day Eruption here if you're Adilius?
Maybe you do. I don't know whether that picks up this KO. Dondozo can be really tough to take down. But I'm sure that would remove Amoonguss at least. We still don't know what the last Pokemon is. If it is Goldango, that is not good. The Choice Scarf Typhlosion is going to go hard. I do actually think that maybe a Giga Drain and an Eruption are enough to remove this Dondozo. Now that you say that, I'm not sure. This is a tough spot, actually, now that I say what I've said, because this Amoonguss is unlikely to get anything really going again this turn. If Dondozo can chip into the Typhlosion and Amoonguss can be preserved in the back, maybe, but otherwise I don't think this Amoonguss lives this turn, except to maybe Rage Powder away a Giga Drain.
I guess maybe something else that could potentially happen is maybe Adilius predicts the Amoonguss to swap out for Tatsugiri, and so instead of locking into Eruption, they go for Infernal Parade into Dondozo. And so that's another option that could be on both battlers' minds right now.
Definitely. I think the danger here is a too offensive moment where Whimsicott can charm, Typhlosion can swap out, Tinkaton can come in, take a KO and give Typhlosion another turn, potentially. There's a lot here that can happen. We see Amoonguss leave, Tatsugiri comes in, Commander is activated. We know all the Pokemon now for Panda. Amoonguss is safe in the back for the moment. Charm does come out on Dondozo, bringing its attack down 2 stages. Eruption does come out and does, I don't know, 12%.
Oh, damage.
As Wave Crash comes out. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, that was not what you want if you are Adilius. You do have Fake Out on this turn. I don't know how well Giga Drain handles this moment, but that Tinkaton is very much in danger of going down, and I think Amoonguss matches up okay into this Whimsicott, and Amoonguss should be about back to full health with the Regenerator coming out. So Fake Out goes in. Let's see how big this Giga Drain is. I don't think that's going to be big enough. Well, we likely see Lord the Tinkaton go down this turn. It will get off its move, so I just don't think it's enough to KO Dondozo here. We've seen like Play Roughs and Gigaton Hammers just kind of glance off of Dondozos. The Wave Crash comes out. Tinkaton does go down with the boosts. It actually outspeeds the Tinkaton. Giga Drain comes out, taking Dondozo to 26%. This Dondozo can rest, and it's going to have the bulk to be able to get through, I believe, the next turn. Instead, we see a Wave Crash. Not worried, I suppose, with the Amoonguss in the back. 4%. Dondozo will go down after this next turn. Wave Crash taking...
It should be a very comfortable win from Panda from here on out.
Yes, the Tatsugiri and the Amoonguss pair up together here, and we'll see likely Clear Smog or potentially even just Rage Powder to keep the Tatsugiri safe. And this Tatsugiri will be able to hit into the Whimsicott, I'm sure. We see Muddy Water come out, take the Whimsicott to 34%. Giga Drain comes out, chipping into Tatsugiri, and Amoonguss will clear Smog here for a Game 1 win from MX Name Panda. This is what you want to see if you're rooting for a long match here into the Game 5, as MX Name Panda takes the first game of this set of 3 of VGC. Now, if you're a fan of the game, you love to see that. If you're a Tropimon fan, you may be sitting on the edge of your seat, which, you know, that's what you want as well. They've been performing incredibly during this battle, and now AureusMC is starting to gain some momentum here as they take a 1-0 lead in this set of 3. That is not okay. It's not the first loss Adilius has ever suffered. So Adilius has never lost a full set during this tournament, but they have lost a couple games along the way. So it is not 2-2 yet, just so everybody knows. This VGC point will be determined by a set of 3. So whereas singles points count on the first game because singles matches usually run longer in this format, doubles games are determined. Their match point is determined by a set of 3 between these battlers. So that was only game 1. And now MX Name Panda will need to win again over Adilius in order to lock up a 2-2 game. They have 2 games to do it.
Oh man, I wonder if Tropimon isn't going to be able to secure this double set win. I wonder if what they're gonna choose, whether it be singles or doubles in the back, because I think that they do still have hitters for both on the backside.
Yeah, that is the danger. Is like, you know, White Spaniard might be in the back, but might not ever get a chance again. Of course, I think Just Shark is also waiting in the wings for AureusMC. I don't recall if they were a doubles or singles battle or mainly. I don't think they battled. Oh, unless maybe they're. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think they've battled actually. Just Shark. I'm not sure if they've stepped onto the podium yet during this tournament. But if they are a doubles battler and they were to be that final pick, what an incredibly high pressure place to be in the Game 5 elimination match if they were the ones to go in.
You know, taking like a deeper look at Adilias's team, I'm really not sure how he's supposed to be breaking a lot of NX Names Panda's team. Like really just trying to consider all the possible matchups. NX Name Panda feels very defensively sound against anything that Adilias might be bringing.
Yeah, to be fair, I've thought of Adilias. The last win against Dondozo was definitely more of a chess win than it was a, you know, like team win. And right there you saw with the Gastrodon prediction, the Gastrodon going down was exactly in the plan. You know, the Wave Crash goes out, and if the Wave Crash doesn't do it, then the Giga Drain will. And doubling into the same slot and all that was very, very strategic and well played. I do think that this, if MX Name Panda is able to outplay these tools, there aren't that many tools. As has been said, Adilias doesn't really have, he has the fake out, but he doesn't have a follow me user. He doesn't, which by the way, with the Hisuian Typhlosion, that's one of the first things you usually, oh, sorry, he does have Rage Powder user in Volcarona. So maybe we do see that come out, but against the Dondozo, you can't really bring the Typhlosion, I'd say. because Gastrodon and
Yeah.
Typhlosion next to each other also don't work out super well often.
Yeah, I mean, the only things you really have against opposing Dondozo is the combination of your Gastrodon and Whimsicott. But thanks to the Amoonguss that's also on NX Name Panda's side of the field, it handles both of those really comfortably with Giga Drain and Clear Smog. So it's just real rough for Dilias, you know. I don't think that I would imagine that NX doesn't really change anything up in game 2. And maybe Adilias drops a Typhlosion, maybe in favor of Volcarona, to dish out Heat Waves and have that Flame Body burn chance.
I think you're right about that. That does make sense, as like the things that he brought seem more like in line with maybe a solo Dozo or like a little bit more of a middle ground play to defend against Dondozo. But at the same time, that to me is a signal almost to, and we still haven't seen this. I've said this in a few matches, but we have not seen the winner of a match really predict or take a different play. And now we maybe do, as Talonflame and Tatsugiri lead off for MX Name Panda against Salamence and Gastrodon. So Gastrodon here, of course, threatening the Muddy Water against the Talonflame, but otherwise not too much. And Tatsugiri, I don't know to what degree it is actually threatening the Salamence.
It can Dragon Pulse for some big damage on the opposing side.
And the Salamence is not running Dragon Claw. So the Salamence, if there was a Salamence on the other side of the field, that one has Dragon Claw, but the one for Adilius does not. It has Wing Beat and Crunch. Dual Wing Beat. So this is not a bad start, I would say, here. I'm curious to see whether or not MX Name Panda takes any steps to defend their Talonflame. Last time, Talonflame going down early, and this Gastrodon obviously being a big piece of Adilius' side of the field, it would be a little bit greedy, potentially, to go for something big here. As MX Name Panda was happy to sacrifice Talonflame into that Gastrodon last time.
Both battlers taking their time to decide on what their first turn is.
Yes, indeed. Very different leads. I don't think we've seen this lead out of Adilius before. And I don't believe we've seen a Tatsugiri lead either. Of course, if there is a predicted swap from Gastrodon, I mean, we see a Protect out of Salamence just holding this moment. Tailwind does come out from Talonflame, so I suppose there must be some sort of, that must be the option for win here, is knowing that they need the Tailwind, because Ancient Power does come out. No Omniboost, but Amoonguss is now onto the field next to Tatsugiri. And this Amoonguss is threatening there's no Flamethrower on the Salamence, it's threatening the Gastrodon, and the Tatsugiri is threatening the Salamence, so we may see a switch here.
Now, Adilias' team is fully healthy. The only thing that NX Name Panda did get from last turn was getting that Tailwind set up. I believe that Amoonguss Spore is very free to come out on either or onto the opposing Gastrodon. Giga Drain, of course, is also possible.
Yeah, I wonder if you predict the Whimsicott to come in that slot, because right now the Gastrodon is very threatened if it's going to be outsped by this Amoonguss. I'm not certain that's the case, but I think that might be in the cards here, and why maybe they went for this Tailwind here on turn 1. We could see maybe a prediction of Whimsicott coming in, as the Salamence does not care at all for the Spore, as it is rocking the safety goggles.
Ooh, dual wing beat could also be something that we see
Very true.
into the Among Us. I wonder how much dual wing beat plus Earth Power. Ooh, we see Muddy Water come out.
Dual Wing Beat does come out. Ooh, it's gonna hit
That's
hard.
huge damage.
21% down, but there is a lot of damage here, and the Clear Smog did go into the Salamence slot. Not sure I agree with that move. Could have gotten a Spore into the Tinkaton likely.
Maybe was fearing something like Whimsicott in the back, so they didn't want to go for the Spore.
Quite possibly. And so we do see Lord took a good amount of damage, did lose its Focus Sash to that Muddy Water. Amoonguss is able to potentially swap and bring in the Dondozo, which is likely in the back here, to get some Regenerator health and also to spare, you know, from Amoonguss going down. We do see it leave. Dondozo comes in. I'm gonna move my camera. This guy's huge. It gets the Omniboost going with the Commander, and we see Fake Out, of course,
It's
not
Fake Out.
doing anything here, as Dual Wing Beat comes out again, doing about 9% on each hit, which is about the same as Leftovers here.
Dondozo shrugs it off. Oh, man.
This is looking scary now because, well, Salamence can roost. Salamence is still probably the main threat, but it's not threatening a ton of damage either. So I think you maybe ignore it.
I mean, Order Up can hit directly into the Salamence as well.
Well, I think you gotta, yeah. I think that's about right. Is you have to predict here. You need to take Gastrodon down as soon as possible, right? And Tatsugiri actually, I think, solos this Salamence at the end because of the Dragon Stab. I think if you can get rid of Gastrodon, you're in a really good spot.
Yeah,
Or
we
the
do
play
know
rough
that.
Tinkerbell.
We haven't seen a fourth Mon. I feel like it's very likely the Whimsicott itself. Oh, these are just the two Pokemon you don't want to have in front of an opposing Dondozo.
The Gastrodon comes back out, and we see the Whimsicott as well, floating. Okay. Order Up comes out.
Targeted the correct slot.
Very well, well chipped. Oh, 44% to 69. With the attack boost, I think that Gastrodon goes down next turn. Well, before Charm, which obviously is Prankster, so that'll go first. So I think this Gastrodon gets one turn more without any help from the back.
Yeah, we could be seeing Charm into the Dondozo. Does it also have? Oh, it doesn't have Heavy Slam. So this Whimsicott actually, you know, the only thing that is really threatening it is Wave Crashes, so it's fully protected. Gastrodon could, of course, always just double out right back into the Tinkaton to fake out the Dondozo for a couple turns. So it's a lot more complicated for NX than it looks to be on paper. We do see Gastrodon recover.
The recover. Yeah, this is exactly where you don't want to be against Adilius. You need to have taken one of these threats down before Dondozo comes onto the field, because now he's left just being bottomed out in terms of attack, and Gastrodon can recover through this damage because of the support from Whimsicott. Here we are, install VGC.
Yeah, buckle in, folks. These next couple turns. Yeah, we're likely just going to see this Whimsicott charm the Dondozo all the way down. Shoot, and it's also Oblivious Dondozo. I wonder if you Ancient Power your way through this. Nah, surely not. Surely not. I mean, I say Ancient Power just to try to see if you get some Omni Boost, but that's crazy. I think all you do is go for the safe Earth Powers. Or even Muddy Waters to lower accuracy.
The Order Up now reduced to 17% damage. Earth Power comes out and is doing a significant amount, bringing it 18% down before Leftovers. I believe that this Dondozo is at like a -4, something like that.
-2, I think. Or no, it's at an odd number because of its Order Up attack raises, if I'm not mistaken. Probably like -1 or -3. I lost track.
Well, this is the 4th charm that's come out, so yeah. It's low. It's not doing great. And you can see this Gastrodon is just eating up the damage. And the reason why there's no sense really going into the Whimsicott is because it does threaten Giga Drain as well, which it will start doing, I'm sure.
Yeah, I imagine that you just keep on charming. Dondozo, of course, once it is activated by the Tatsugiri, it's not able to switch out. So this position on NX Panda isn't really going to be changing. It's just going to have to, withstand all of the hits that are going to be coming in from it.
Yep. No, I think as much as I can, I don't see how this is ever a position that you win from. So if you're MX named Panda, maybe you're just thinking about like, I mean, maybe in the end game you can, but this Dondozo isn't doing much until then. It is going to,
I mean, the only thing. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that this Dondozo is able to do is order up. It can't go for wave crashes because, of course, Gastrodon will just absorb it and raise his special attack. If you're NX, you kind of just have to take it. I feel like, you can't. I guess at some point we could see Rest coming out, but Dondozo now at -6, back up to -5, if I'm not mistaken. We see more Earth powers come out. Eventually, it's going to get Spadef drops. And Idelia's doing an amazing job neutralizing the Dondozo this time around. Of course, there's always the potential for crits, but it looks like from here on out, Idelias is just going to Giga Drain and Earth Power his way through Dondozo, leaving only the Amoonguss and Tatsugiri. But let's wait until we get to that point to make sure that ends up being accurate.
Sleep Talk going out. And a crit.
Giga Drain crit.
Giga Drain removes him.
Earth Power into Tatsugiri as well. Oh man.
Tough. Now, in this moment, I'm pretty sure Tatsugiri can go. Oh, if Tatsugiri can live a hit from Whimsicott, it can get off a move. But I don't.
Yeah,
this is tough.
I feel like maybe all you do is continue Earth Powering as Gastrodon and maybe set up a Tailwind. Tailwind as Whimsicott. That way you guarantee that your Salamence moves faster. We know it's going to be able to pick up a KO on the Amoonguss thanks to Dual Wing Beat, and it probably very likely also does the same to Tatsugiri. As soon as Tatsugiri gets taken off the field, I'm pretty sure that Salamence would be able to win.
Yes, I think
it can't be put. It can't be put to sleep. It's not going to take much from Clear Smog or Giga Drain. I think we're going to see a match 3.
I think we are.
Oh man.
Yeah, as much as like the Dondozo, that game 1 we saw a very threatening Dondozo there, but it's really important to note that that is built off of first disassembling this team a little bit. If Idelias has all the tools when Dondozo comes together, then it's just not something that I think is winnable. Especially, as you said, without Heavy Slam.
Yeah, I didn't even acknowledge that the Dondozo didn't have Heavy Slam in the beginnings, but that I thought it did because you usually do see it running instead of Rest Sleep Talk. We see the Earth Power does take out Tatsugiri. It's all up to the Amoonguss now.
Rico does go to sleep, but Tailwind, as you said, did go up, and this Salamence in the back is going to be deeply threatening. I think the only way you win here, which, by the way, it would be an incredible feat for an Amoonguss, but is to predict the swap-in potentially or something from the Salamence. I don't know how else you could do it. Oh, God.
I wonder. You know what I'm actually very curious of? I wonder if there is potential. Because maybe you can Giga Drain all of your HP back with, or a good amount of HP back with the Amoonguss. And if the Salamence takes enough chip, plus maybe Clear Smog from the Rocky Helmet chip plus Clear Smog, maybe we see something. Oh no, the Wake Up to do the Earth Power.
Yeah,
oh,
and
the
comes
Tinker
Fake Out.
Also still alive. Oh yeah, if we see Knockoff into it. Oh, we see Gigaton Hammer picks up the KO.
Take it out, yep. And there it is. We will see a game 3 between these battlers. So far, this match has been incredible, and it comes down to another match here. Adilius, if he takes he puts AureusMC out of the tournament, or out of the running for the finals, as there will be a third place match. But for the finals, for the top team, if either of these, if Adilius wins, AureusMC is all done. And if AureusMC wins this, they push a game 5. The VGC match is a best of 3, but the match itself is a best of 5 for those asking in chat. I actually feel like people have been pretty good about turn timers. Like, it's sometimes maybe, but like,
no, everybody's been moving at a really reasonable pace.
Yeah.
Oh man. This match decides if Tropimon secure their place in the finals, or if we do end up seeing a match 5 where winner takes all.
Everything is on the line. And MX Name Panda, if they can win, they could be putting one of the most fearsome battlers in this entire tournament in the position to win for AureusMC. In fact, if I'm Tropimon, I wonder if I even just like outlaw using singles in this final battle, just because White Spaniard has been one of the best battlers in all of singles format for this entire tournament. If you enable him and you lose to him, man, that feels bad. But of course, it does come down to who is on their bench and who would be the next to battle here.
I mean, so, at the same time, you know, Tropimon is also a team that has been known to adapt to whatever's going on in the meta. They know. I saw before the matches even began that they knew very well about, you know, Spaniard's undefeated team so far. So it is likely that they could have also prepared for that, just in case it became relevant later down the line. And you know, their singles battlers are also, you know, a group to you know, take down. They still have people like Albafika and Gothmog in the back who can pull off some massive performances, who know kind of how to play around a lot of different play styles as well. So even if we see singles in game 5, I'm sure that it's still going to be a very, very riveting one.
Oh, it will absolutely be riveting, especially because White Spaniard team, it's not, it isn't.
Ooh,
we do have a different lead here. We have
the Goldango comes in for NX Name Panda.
And the Gastrodon is still threatening, to be clear, of course, because Earth Power here can hit Goldango very, very hard. But with this swap up, if Adilius is running the same team and MX Name Panda has a different strategy here to start working around, I mean, if this Talonflame goes down turn 1, I actually think that that's going to be really interesting here, whether they give up pieces as they have in the past or not. But this Goldango is threatening. The Earth Power on the other side can be a major threat, but one of these Pokemon has to be turned off. And this is a covert Cloak Talonflame, so it can't be faked out.
Well, this is a choice specs Goldango. Surely that picks up a KO with Make It Rain on Tinkaton, right? I guess it depends on the... Oh, no, never mind. It has a Focus Sash.
Yep.
Oh, it's complicated. Because Goldango could, of course, get doubled into by Earth Power and Knockoff. Ooh, okay. This is definitely an interesting lead setup. Maybe you don't care too much about Tailwind in this match, so you hit Tinkaton with Talonflame to break its sash, and then you go for the Make It Rain. We'll see. It
also depends on who's in the back.
Shoot, depends on if Gastrodon goes for the ancient power again and maybe gets that Omni boost.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I feel like Talonflame leaves. I feel like if you're Talonflame, you leave the field here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The first thought I had was, if you're switching this order up, I feel like you need to preserve your pieces a little bit better than MX Team Panda has been doing. They've been sort of sacrificing Talonflame as just a piece to give up. And when they gave it up into Gastrodon for health, they flare blitzed like game 1, and they were able to chip into Gastrodon, which allowed them to pick up the KO on Gastrodon with their first order up. That did change the game. But here, if you're not running Dondozo, I do think that you need to be careful, at least, with this Talonflame. If you're going to give it up, then it means that something in the back is going to be empowered by it. We do see the Brave Bird come out into the Gastrodon again, 60% there. Knockoff does go into Goldango. We could see a double up here. Choice Specs are knocked off.
Removed.
Shadow Ball goes out, but not enough to pick up. Citrus Berry is eaten to 45%. Ancient Power comes out into Talonflame. Talonflame goes down. Goldango lost the Choice Specs.
Wow. That knockoff taking out the Choice Specs is huge.
A very
Gastrodon, Gastrodon did get a special defense drop, so it's not going to survive a second Shadow Ball should that come out. But oh man, Goldango losing Choice. Wow. That was not how I expected turn 1 to go.
No, and now Amoonguss, Amoonguss is solid, of course, but the Gigaton Hammer is a threat to it. I don't know to what degree exactly. But we're not out of the woods if you're MX Name Panda. Of course, you did ship into the Gastrodon, but do you even care? I mean, maybe there's a solo Dozo in the back still. But even then, like, what is he going to do against this Gastrodon? Especially not securing that that KO now. This is looking scary. Prankster Whimsicott in the back also enables so many different things.
If this is Hisuian Typhlosion with Prankster,
exactly, that's what I was thinking. In the back. What a play that would be from Adilius to predict that no Dozo would be brought if that's the case, because that's what you'd be predicting.
Yeah, this is nerve-wracking.
And yes, for those asking, there was a special defense drop from the Shadow Ball onto Gastrodon. The Tinkaton still has its Focus Sash intact, but if it decides to fake out this Amoonguss, it will lose it. So there is a Rocky Helmet here. Or no, it can't fake out. Sorry, it has been on the field. If it hits this Amoonguss, however, Tinkaton comes off the field, preserving the Focus Sash. I like that play. Shadow Ball goes out, and Gastrodon is down. Is there a Clear Smog? A Spore? Spore goes out and is avoided by this Grass-type Whimsicott. And now we see it.
Oh,
wow.
My God.
An incredible play. I think this is over. This is a... This is a prankster tailwinding Whimsicott or Sunny Day with a Choice Scarf Hisuian Typhlosion against two Pokemon very weak to it.
Oh my goodness. And if it's something like the Salamence in the back, it gets charmed to death by this Whimsicott. If it's the Dondozo, it gets charmed, and if it's the what's the other Pokemon? If it's like solo Tatsugiri, of course, Tailwind is very free to go up as well. This might be over here.
Sunny Day comes out. Eruption will go next. There it is. Both Pokemon go down.
Jesus. Huge hit, man. Huge
The positioning.
And next name Panda saying GG.
Yep. No, I
Salamence is in the back.
That's just it's a pure prediction on Team Preview there. Knowing Dozo wasn't going to be there, that's all it took. This Eruption Whimsicott duo is one of the most powerful in Cobblemon. If you want to just deal damage, it's an incredible setup. We see a Protect out of MX Name Panda going down like a G.
Oh man, the charms that this Whimsicott's about to give up. Hey, Salamence can always crit every single move. It's not over until it's over. Maybe it takes the eruptions. There's the charm. Down goes Salamance's attack. Eruption comes out. Oh my god. 25% damage, 25% HP left. Loses HP to Life Orb. Even if does this have Roost? It has no Roost. It's over. It
is
won't be
over.
able to take out both Pokemon on the. Even if it miraculously somehow does, it's not going to take out both Pokemon with its Life Orb. Recoil going to be knocking it out.
And on this turn, we should see a double protect. We see double. Okay.
Double
All right. Somebody
protect.
ban this man.
Stalling out the sun. Stalling out the sun.
The sunlight fades. With a life orb on it, I don't think this matters at all. So, 3 and you forfeit, says MX Game Panda. There's the deal.
That's so funny. Gothbug saying deal for Tropimon?
Okay, that's acceptable. Binding.
What? What? Are they actually?
And Bapongus, of course, dealing in from Roanoke.
What is going on?
And I think it's safe to say, as a commentator at least, that Tropimon has won this game and will be going to the finals. I think these players are just trying to give us a hard time to announce this historic moment.
Sunny day.
Sunny day is reset up, Eruption goes out, and Salamence goes down. Tropimon will be going to the finals.
Ilias has sent Tropimon into the 2025 World Cup Finals. Oh my goodness. The crowd goes crazy. Fireworks being shot into the sky. Oh my goodness. Going crazy with the fireworks.
The Tropimon team putting through these 4 different matches and coming up 3-1 victory. And AureusMC, who performed incredibly throughout this entire tournament, is now, they have come to the end of their tournament road journey.
Yep. While first and second place is no longer possible for AureusMC, they do still have a shot at making it to the podium by securing a win in their 3rd place match. We will just have to wait and see. Oh my goodness. That was a really good set. Oh man.
I really respect the Typhlosion pick there. I like the idea that, like, somebody doesn't bring Dondozo 3 times, do they? After that, after knowing Adilius's like ability to handle it with their team, they bring in the Typhlosion, and the Typhlosion just turns it on, almost negates any possibility. Without priority moves there, you have the Tailwind, you have the Choice Scarf, you have the Sunny Day if you want it, and they wanted it and they took it.
Yeah, I mean, incredible call out by Adilius to prepare. You know, he saw just how badly that setup got dismantled in game 1, but then brought it back to game 3, knowing NX Panda's gonna change up his game plan, especially after he saw his Dondozo in the last round get charmed all the way down. Oh my goodness. Incredible match day, and our first finalist secured.
Incredible. Well, for us, from the commentators of the Cobblemon World Cup, and for these competitors, Tropimon and AureusMC, and Tropimon, who we will see in the finals, we will see you all tomorrow for another match in this incredible tournament. We will be seeing the other finalists prove their merit. It'll be between which 2 teams, Novo? I made a thumbnail.
We will be seeing Roanoke face off against Squirtle Squad MC tomorrow. That will be deciding the final finalist of the World Cup. Both of those teams, they both took losses in the group stages. They actually, funnily enough, they both took losses in the first game of their group stages, and ever since those first matches, they have been unstoppable afterwards. So it's going to be a very, very exciting match to see.
Heck yeah. Well, we will see you all for that tomorrow, and For all of us here at the Cobblemon World Cup, have a wonderful afternoon or night or
Thank you.
morning.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Take care,
Take
everybody.
care.